there was. So I would like to know if there are any recordings available for the previous classes, because we've missed
Yes, yes,
even
yes.
all of.
Yes. I'll share a couple of them. I mean, in fact, we started in between only, right? So we didn't started from like the time when we started recording Discover Yourself. At that time only we started recording this also. So I didn't had the paid account before that. So I didn't bought.
Okay.
So वो कुछ miss हो गया है काफी कुछ. But I actually what I'm planning to do is maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. Let me plan because of some engagement. I'm not able to plan properly, but we can do a revision of the entire Bhagavad Gita, like in the
Okay.
first
Okay.
chapter. So that will also
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah, actually, if you could plan after 31st or in that weekend, then that is fine, because my sister-in-law's wedding is planned this 27th.
Mhm.
So, it's like I don't want to miss out. So, if you could,
Sure. Yeah, we can do that also. Yep, no problem. All right. Yeah. Before everything, we just remember the Guru and everybody. So okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्तांश्च नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धो भैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरौ दीनतारिणम्. All right. Yeah, sorry to interrupt people who were already speaking. So, yeah, so the people for which this is new, actually in Bhagavad Gita, in the introduction section, this entire Mangalacharan is there with meaning. Okay. I can actually maybe I'll also explain it sometime when we talk about Bhagavad Gita. What is this all about and why do we speak this? But in short, why we do it is because we don't think that we are capable of our own to get this spiritual knowledge, and so we pray to everybody in the parampara, starting from our own guru, and going up uh, to higher entities. Okay. So it includes all the Vaishnavas. There's a prayer for all the Vaishnavas. There's a prayer for Krishna. There's a prayer for Radharani. There's a prayer for Goswamis of Vrindavan, and like that. Okay. So, but I'll explain it maybe sometime. But you can actually read about it in Bhagavad Gita introduction. If you have Bhagavad Gita as it is, then you should be able to get that. Okay. Yeah. So we can start. Actually, yeah. People who are present. I mean, if you want, you can join through phone. Okay. So that, but don't join through voice. because that will at least there are some slides which might be interesting. I didn't projected it for a experiment. We'll get to know how it turns out to be. Yeah, but by the way, people who are online, it is equally audible to me. So please feel free to interrupt or ask any question. So I'll just try to cater to both the audience at the same time. We'll get to see how it works. Okay, so this was the verse that we were discussing last time. Um, so any questions or any doubts on this? We talked about one particular philosophy which is about where people think that life is a collection of chemicals, right? There is nothing else apart from chemicals here. So those are the people, for them, Krishna gives this understanding, right? So any questions or doubt? Anybody? Online, offline, whatever.
Just one question, Rahul, that last time we discussed about the two philosophy,
Lokayatika and Vaibhashikas.
So the question is here that Krishna is talking about that in case you believe that soul get birth and die forever. Right? He said that okay, it never comes back.
Soul is not eternal.
Soul is not eternal. So, is there any specific, intention Krishna has? Because the whole flow is going on nicely. That we are talking about that soul is like eternal, and it cannot be.
So why this sudden?
All those things and all, because this kind of things give the doubts to the people who take it into the other ways and all.
Correct.
And then why Buddha philosophies think about those kind of things?
Okay, so I think was it audible for people online? They can hear, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is
Okay.
audible.
Okay. Great. So yeah. So why the question? There are two questions. I mean, the first question is that why Krishna suddenly changes track and gives this philosophy for people जिनको कोई doubt भी नहीं है उनके लिए why is it required to give this? But the problem is that there are all sort of people, right? And there are a lot of people who don't believe in Vedic knowledge, right? They have different kind of conceptions. I mean, अभी हम अगर अभी poll कर लेंगे ना अपनी अपनी societies में, you will find 10 type of philosophies that people have, right? But Krishna is not for only Vedic people. I mean, Bhagavad Gita is not for only people or Hindus or something like that, right? Bhagavad Gita is a book which is meant for the entire creation, right? All the humans, all pretty much everyone. So that is why for those, what is the how do they understand कि क्या करना चाहिए, what is the right dharma, right? So even for those this knowledge is given. मतलब उन्होंने see पहले इतने सारे verses में he explained that soul is real, but यहाँ पर अथ करके एक word शुरू होता है. He starts with अथ चाइनम नित्य जातम, right? So अथ means like oh therefore, I mean even if you still think, right? मतलब अगर तुम्हें ऐसा कुछ लगता है कि सोल नहीं है तो भी समझ लो कि तुम्हें फाइट करना है, because कृष्णा का he was of course focused on one particular task there कि अर्जुन से फाइट करवाना है, but at the same time he is giving this knowledge for us to understand and analyze कि हम अपना जो भी ड्यूटी है, whatever is our dharma, how can we be focused there, right? Because अगर देखिए अगर सोल नहीं है ना तो ना सारा वैदिक सिस्टम गोज फॉर अ टॉस. ओके, आपका ये सारा कुछ खत्म हो जाता है. और फॉर पीपल हु डोंट बिलीव इन सोल, उनके लिए लाइफ सिर्फ यही होती है कि ईट ड्रिंक एंड बी मैरी. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट? चरवाक और वात्सायन और सच पीपल, फॉर देम लाइफ इज जस्ट eat, drink and be merry. So उनके लिए क्या मतलब, why should they follow anything, right? मतलब even if they have to do that. So thus Krishna gives a glimpse of those philosophies कि कैसे उसे break कर सकते हैं. In fact those philosophies can be broken in anything. I mean like whatever we pick up, any question can be broken up. So yeah, for people who believe in soul, they don't need to bother about this section, right? This is meant for people who don't. And this is a glimpse in see how wonderful Guru Krishna is actually. Like how God, when he comes to explaining something, then how wonderful he can explain, right? So that is another thing that he demonstrates, right? That's what I feel. Ki, matlab, this is amazing, really amazing. Matlab, how can if I have to explain a subject, how can I explain it कि ठीक है मेरी जो theory है और बाकियों की जो सबकी theories है उन सबको लेके आऊंगा, but I will still prove my point with all one by one all the theories. I mean the next 3-4 verses he does this same thing. Okay, so yeah, and one more question you had, right? Yeah,
Buddha's why Buddha's Last time you talked about that they don't follow.
Why Buddha talks about this or not? So see, actually हमने ये बात की थी कि बुद्धा ने जो कहा वो कहा, but there are multiple offshoots of Buddhist theories, right? And they come up with variety of strange things, right? Even though they don't believe in soul, but they still know that there is something interesting somewhere. But हाँ, so बुद्धा का रीजन सिंपल था कि वैदिक नॉलेज को छोड़ दो, मतलब बिकॉज वैदिक नॉलेज वाज गेटिंग करप्टेड एट दैट टाइम. सो हिज लॉजिक वाज वेरी वेरी सिंपल कि वैदिक नॉलेज को छोड़ दो अभी के लिए. बट दैट वाज अ पॉइंट इन टाइम थ्योरी. अभी हम लोग बहुत सारी पॉइंट इन टाइम थ्योरीज होती हैं जो हम छोड़ देते हैं एक्चुअली. मतलब इन जनरल इफ यू एक्चुअली कंसिडर ना, तो अभी जैसे कोरोना का टाइम है तो हम सारे मास्क लगाते हैं, बट डज इट और वट एवर, आई मीन लाइक सो मेनी पीपल वॉश हैंड्स, दे वेयर ग्लव्स एंड वट एवर. मे बी सम पीपल, I mean, we are not supposed to do it, right? Once Corona is gone. But हाँ, ऐसा होगा कि कुछ लोग फिर भी मास्क लगाते रहेंगे throughout life. It is okay. But if you, after 5-10 generations, if people concoct that कि मास्क हमें क्यों लगाना चाहिए, then there is another problem, right? मतलब you know,
हमारे फादर मास्क लगाते थे तो हम भी मास्क.
हाँ exactly, because हमारे फादर मास्क लगाते थे, that's why we also है. So इसी तरह का कुछ हो गया है. मतलब you know, I don't know if anybody knows the Jainism का जो origin है, that was also like this. Like Rishabh Dev is also a Vishnu, I mean, and he was the kind of founder of Jainism, right? First तीर्थंकर, I mean, like you know, so उनको भागवतम में बहुत लंबा डिस्क्रिप्शन है उनके बारे में. And he had his own purpose. I mean, he was behaving like that for some specific purpose. When he left his kingdom, when he went to forest, won't go lot of details why all he did it, but there was one purpose. But abhi, okay, people are still following it, that's okay. But a lot of concoction has happened also. But you know, he himself was Vishnu, but then I will not go into detail of that, like in this class at least, in a recorded class. But yeah, but those they deviated big time, but they are all offshoots of Sanatan Dharma. ये तो पक्की बात है कि be it Buddhism or Jainism or whatever it is, right? Yeah. So okay, what else? Any other question? Okay, but this is what the summary of पिछले slide, पिछला class का summary कुछ ऐसा सा था कि लोकयातिकास and वैभाषिकास, both of them believe कि life is a combination of matter, right? And so are modern scientists. And अगर ऐसा कुछ है तो कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है, बिकॉज केमिकल्स तो बह जाते हैं, उनके लिए इतना सोचने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. अगर केमिकल है तो केमिकल है, बह जाएगा, राइट? फिर हम क्यों रोते हैं अपने आसपास वालों के लिए? मतलब यू नो, कृष्णा इज सेइंग कि डोंट किल देम. आई विल से कि फिर इतना अटैचमेंट की क्या जरूरत है? दिस पीपल आर ऑल केमिकल्स, राइट? सो व्हाई आर यू अटैच्ड टू सो मेनी पीपल अराउंड यू if it is all chemical, right? So yeah, but Indians are very amazing that way. Like you know, हम अगर इवोल्यूशन थ्योरी के ऊपर भी पेपर देने जाते हैं ना साइंस का, तो भी हम गणपति को जाके प्रसाद चढ़ाते हैं और फिर जाते हैं, राइट? So we are like really confused people. I mean, nothing is clear here. But anyways, okay. Yeah, so we can start with the next verse. Let us see. Maybe we can. Yeah, we can start. Okay. Yeah. So I'll recite the verse and then Jata is. So this is a verse which almost बच्चे को याद है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, पता नहीं क्यों, मतलब because I've heard it from so many kids so far. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्यार्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Okay, I'll repeat once more so that people get it. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्यार्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Okay, anyone wants to recite? Anybody? In person, offline, virtual, whatever.
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः.
Along with you, we would like to.
Okay, you want to recite with me? Okay, so the way we do it is,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so you can recite with me. I mean, I can recite once more, and then somebody else recites, and then you can recite with them also. So let me recite once, and you
Okay.
can try. जातस्य हि, okay, जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
ध्रुवं
तस्मात्
जन्मामृतस्य च
तस्मात् अपरिहार्यार्थे
तस्मादपरिहार्यार्थे
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yeah, Shantru, you are reciting. You can recite after me.
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर्
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च
तस्माद् अपारे हरे अर्थे
तस्मात् अपरिहार्यार्थे
तस्मादपरिहार्ये
न त्वं
शोचितुम् अर्हसि
न त्वं
न त्वं
शोचितुमर्हसि.
शोचितुमर्हसि.
Okay. Anyone else? जातस्य हि ध्रुवो
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु
ध्रुवं जन्म
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्यते
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
शोचितुमर्हसि.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All all right. Let me read the meaning and translation. Um, so, word by word meaning and translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jatasya, of one who has taken his birth. He, certainly. Dhruva, a fact. Mrityu, death. Dhruvam, it is also a fact. Janma, birth. Mritasya, of the dead. Cha, also. Tasmat, therefore. Apariharya, of that which is unavoidable. Arthe, in the matter. Na, do not. Tvam, you. Shochitum, to lament. Arhasi, deserve. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Okay. So, what did we understand from it, right? कि मतलब जिसका जन्म हुआ है उसकी मृत्यु होने ही वाली है, right? One who has taken birth is sure to die, and after the death, you are going to take birth again. So, does it make sense what the meaning is it clear, the
Yeah,
meaning?
yeah, very much, very
Yeah,
much.
very much clear.
I think whatever we have discovered in, we have like gone through in discover yourself. I think this is there in whole one verse. I feel.
No, it is more than that.
Okay.
It is much more than that. So
Okay.
we'll talk about it here. Krishna specifically, there is a okay. Yeah, so basically what is going on here is that Krishna is saying few things कि जिसका जन्म हुआ है उसकी मृत्यु होगी, और जिसका मृत्यु हुआ है उसका जन्म फिर से होगा, और इसलिए अपनी ड्यूटी जो है वो अनअवॉइडेबल है, वो मतलब आपको करनी ही है अपनी ड्यूटी. सो आपको दुखी नहीं होना चाहिए इस बात को लेके. ओके, डू नॉट लेमेंट फॉर इट. नाउ it says much more. I mean, like so before this, I mean, आप लोग क्योंकि जो लेट ज्वाइन किए हैं, till 25th verse what was going on was कि कृष्णा was specifically talking about soul. ठीक है, कि soul है और soul is the main thing और body is not the main thing. So that was the Vedic knowledge. But यहाँ पर it is also Vedic कि मतलब हाँ जन्म हुआ है, मृत्यु होगी, फिर से जन्म होगा, ये वैदिक है. लेकिन यहाँ पर कुछ कंफ्यूज लोगों के बारे में बात हो रही है यहाँ पे स्पेसिफिकली, जो कि जन्म और मृत्यु के अलावा कुछ और समझते ही नहीं. ओके, पीपल जो पीपल हु डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग बियॉन्ड कर्मा. ऐसा आप लोगों ने काफी लोगों के मुंह से सुना होगा, राइट? कि मतलब कभी कभी सो आई वॉज इन पुणे, मराठी में आई नो कि यहाँ पे कोई भी मराठी नहीं है, बट आई यूज टू रीड दिस स्लोगन रिटन इन कार्स अलॉट. मतलब क्या, तू ही आहे तुझ्या जीवनाचा शिल्पकार. ओके, दैट वाज समथिंग. सो व्हाट इट मीन्स इज आप ही अपने जीवन के शिल्पकार हो, और लाइक मैन इज द मेकर ऑफ हिज ओन डेस्टिनी. राइट, कि मतलब ऐसा है कि इसके अलावा कुछ और है ही नहीं, बियॉन्ड दिस देयर इज नथिंग एल्स, राइट। सिर्फ आपका कर्म है और आपके कर्म से ही आपकी डेस्टिनी बनती है, करेक्ट। इसके बियॉन्ड कुछ, इसके ऊपर कुछ है ही नहीं। सो दोज आर द पीपल हु थिंक लाइक दिस। सो जो लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं ना कि मतलब ठीक है अभी तो जन्म होगा, मृत्यु होगी और अपना ड्यूटी करते जाना है, ओके, फिर भी आपको दुखी होने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट, ठीक है। नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज दिस साउंड्स कंफ्यूजिंग, राइट। ये वर्ड्स बड़ी सिंपल सी है, एज आई सेड कि बच्चों बच्चों को पता है ये वर्ड्स, सभी ने वर्ड मीनिंग मैंने बहुत बच्चों के मुंह से सुना है, बट दिस इज मच मोर देन दैट, ओके, इट्स अ वेरी डीप वर्ड्स। So we'll try to understand what this philosophy is all about, and what it is. So for starters, before we get into anything, we need to understand what is this karma all about, okay? Even though we talked about it sometime, I am just kind of revising it थोड़ा सा, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, just a second, तो जो ऑडियो एग्जिट कर दीजिए ऑडियो। So yeah, so let us audio से, okay, so yeah, so before that let's try to understand this karma business, कि ये कर्मा होता क्या है, because बहुत ही ज्यादा कंफ्यूजिंग मैटर है। ज्यादातर लोगों को लगता है कि भगवत गीता का मतलब सिर्फ कर्म ही कर्म है, मतलब और कुछ नहीं है, लाइक यू नो दैट इज व्हाट दे थिंक कि भगवत गीता मतलब कर्म जा फल की चिंता टाइप्स, मतलब भगवत गीता इज वे मोर देन दैट एंड कर्मा इज लाइक द लोएस्ट रंग ऑफ द लैडर, मतलब यू नो सबसे नीचे की चीज है। So nothing serious about karma, but so let's understand. So Krishna in fourth chapter, I mean this is, we're jumping somewhere, he says one specific verse where he says karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanasya bodhavyam gehna karmano gati कि मतलब you need to understand about this karma vikarma and akarma. It is very very important because if you don't, then what will happen after that, right? You know the result of this karma is very difficult to handle, okay? So uske phal aayenge na, that is very difficult to understand. So you have to know what is actually, you have to be absolutely precisely know what is this karma and what is akarma and vikarma, okay? I will not go too much into akarma and vikarma, that is out of scope. When we reach this verse we will talk about all this in detail, but I'll just talk about this karma because this verse deals with karma, okay? So karma starts with this, right? I mean, why do people suffer? ठीक है, there's a kid who's like, you know, born with a silver spoon. अभी I heard कि मुकेश अंबानी had a grandson, right? I mean, just think about that person. I mean, this is like wow. Come on, right? I mean, अब उसके आगे कुछ बचा ही नहीं करने को, मतलब you know, I heard that he bought Hamleys, I mean, whatever, even before this guy was born. So such amazing people. Why? ओके, एंड व्हाई समबडी जो पैदा होते हैं और रोड पे अभी भी आपको आसपास दिख जाएंगे, मतलब यू नो इफ यू गो आउट इवन द कोरोना टाइम्स यू सी लॉट ऑफ बेगर्स एंड पीपल लाइक दैट। व्हाई डज दिस हैपन? कुछ लोग ऐसे और कुछ वैसे क्यों? सम पीपल आर सो ब्यूटीफुल एंड सम पीपल आर अगली, okay? Now somebody will say yeah, ugly is a subjective thing, okay fine, but whatever is the general consensus I'll say, right? कि मतलब ज्यादातर लोगों को क्या लगता है? So why does that happen, right? कि मतलब कुछ लोग क्यों पैसे वाले, कुछ लोग क्यों अमीर गरीब, कुछ लोग क्यों इतनी लाइफ में खुश रहते हैं, कुछ दुखी रहते हैं, things like that, right? Why does that happen? There is no explanation that any kind of scientific theory can give, right? Karma is a reality, मतलब this forms the basis of lot of spirituality. This is actually, karma is something जो कि हमें आँख से दिखता है, I mean, you can really experience it. People can see and experience it. And this verse, I mean, it's actually at some level, it definitely goes to higher standard. And I'll explain what it is all about. कि आपको physically observe करते करते कर्म को आप कैसे पूरी spirituality को समझ सकते हैं, ये वर्स आपको ये भी बताती है. But who are those people who believe in that? वो भी बात करेंगे. So yeah, why do people suffer, right? And then there is a purport in where Prabhupada writes in 8th chapter where he says कि जो लोग ना material consciousness में फंसे हुए हैं, okay, जो लोग material world में फंसे हुए हैं, for them they have to keep on taking different bodies, okay, and they have to suffer the reactions of that. ये जो भी हो रहा है ना, ये सब जो material conception में फंसे हुए लोग हैं उनके लिए ये कर्मा is applicable, and this is called karma, he says, okay? बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डेफिनेशन है, अपने आप में समझाने में भी टाइम लगेगा, बट बॉटम लाइन ये है कि यस, पीपल हु आर नॉट, जो लोग नॉर्मल लोग हैं, Normal means like, people who are not at all interested in spirituality, they are just living their life, enjoying their life. वो उन सब के ऊपर एक लॉ एप्लीकेबल है कि जो आप करोगे वो आपको रिएक्शन सफर करना पड़ेगा. ओके, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड कर्मा. Okay, now this is what it also means is it excludes some category of people who are really surrendered to God. Okay, for them this law doesn't apply because they don't do anything called karma. Okay, they do something called as a karma, but that is a separate discussion. As I said, I will not go unless there are pressing questions. So that is it. I mean, and this is just a revision, by the way, for people generally. So karma is like a bank account, right? I mean, it is like credit and debit. मतलब आप कुछ अच्छा करोगे तो वो आपके अकाउंट में इकट्ठा हो जाएगा, बुरा करोगे तो वो इकट्ठा हो जाएगा, एंड देन अच्छा और बुरा कैंसिल नहीं होते. ओके, इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. लाइक अनलाइक आपका बैलेंस शीट, इट डजंट गेट कैंसिल्ड, राइट? तो आपने जो अच्छा किया है वो भी आपको भुगतना है और जो बुरा किया है वो भी सेपरेटली भुगतना है, राइट? तो ऐसा कर्मा के कैटेगरी में ऐसा नहीं होता कि आप कैंसिल कर लो उसे. सो you'll have to go through all of that, and then जब आप जा रहे होते हो उस प्रोसेस में, तब आप फिर कुछ करते हो, बिकॉज भगवान बताते हैं भगवत गीता में, बिकॉज दैट द पर्सन, आई मीन द सोल इज एक्टिव, right? It cannot sit still, it will keep on doing something or the other. So you keep on doing something or the other, and in that process you collect more karmas, right? और फिर उसके साइकिल में फंसे रहते हैं. So that is what is the karmic cycle. I mean, like, that you ultimately keep on going through it, this life after this life after this life. So it is a continuity. अगर ये continuity नहीं होता ना, then you cannot explain the previous photos. You cannot explain कि why some people are born rich and why some people are born poor. It can only be explained through this. When you say that life is a continuity and people are facing some good or bad things just because of what they did in the past. Okay, and this actually proves also that God is a just person. I mean, God is not काफी सारे बाकी जो फिलोसफीज है, नॉन वैदिक फिलोसफीज, ऑल द अब्राहमिक रिलीजन, वहां पर ये प्रूव करना बहुत मुश्किल है कि गॉड इज एक्चुअली अ जस्ट पर्सन. लाइक कि मतलब भगवान जो कर रहे हैं वो अच्छा कर रहे हैं हर एक के साथ, ये आप कभी भी प्रूव नहीं कर सकते. मतलब बिकॉज वहां पर कैसे बोलोगे कि एक कोई बच्चा पैदा हुआ जिसके एक लेग नहीं है, right? How will you say ki why that person has 2 legs and this kid has 1 leg? You cannot, there's no explanation, and that is one of the reason why people turn towards being atheist. Okay, because people feel कि ये ऐसा भगवान हो ही नहीं सकता, right? अगर मेरे साथ कुछ बुरा हो रहा है, because they don't have this concept, so they will definitely think that कुछ तो गड़बड़ है यहाँ पे. Okay, मतलब भगवान अच्छा चीज नहीं है, राइट? या भगवान है ही नहीं. अगर भगवान होता तो ये सब मैं क्यों फेस कर रहा हूँ, मैं इतना अच्छा आदमी हूँ, मेरे साथ क्यों बुरा हो रहा है? एंड दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई पीपल लीव दिस रिलीजन, आई मीन फॉरगेट स्पिरिचुअलिटी आल्सो. So the good thing is that if you believe in karma and you believe in soul, in reincarnation, then all of this can be explained. Okay, so that is the beauty of Vedic religion, that it has these answers which is not available anywhere else. So yeah, and as I said, right, ki why do bad things happen to good people? I mean, this is another small thing, but this is just a revision.
Yeah, excuse me, can you show me the previous slide, please?
Okay,
Thank you so much.
sure. Okay, anything specific you wanted to know in this slide?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this is a one big question that people have, right? कि बुरा क्यों होता है अच्छे लोगों के साथ, क्योंकि मैं तो अच्छा आदमी हूँ वगैरह वगैरह, मैंने सारी जिंदगी मैंने अच्छा कुछ किया, बट स्टिल आई एम सफरिंग, बट पीपल हु आर डूइंग बैड थिंग्स, उन सबके पास इतने पैसे हैं. एंड दैट इज, देयर इज नो आंसर इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड कर्मा वेल, राइट? एंड there's a verse which comes, right? Yatha denu sahastreshu vatso vindati matram तथा पूर्व कृतम कर्म कर्तार मनु गच्छति. सो बेसिकली वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, इट सेज कि जैसे एक गाय का बछड़ा होता है ना, तो दैट काफ, ही इज एबल टू फाइंड हिज काउ नो मैटर वेयर शी इज, right? Similarly, it says ki your karma, your the consequence of action, like the consequence of your action, जो कर्म का जो फल है वो आपको खोज लेता है wherever you are. I mean, even if you kill somebody wearing a jeans and then you change yourself to lungi, but that doesn't mean कि आपको पहचानेंगे नहीं, राइट? कि मतलब मैंने जैसे होता है ना मूवीज में कभी कभी दिखाता है कि वो भेष बदलने के लिए एक छोटा सा तिल लगा लेता है या कुछ कर लेता है, चश्मा पहन लेता है, एंड पीपल आर नॉट एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज हिम. मे बी दैट हैपेंस ओनली इन मूवीज, बिकॉज रियल वर्ल्ड में ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है, मतलब. बट So what this verse points towards is that कि अगर आपकी लाइफ भी चेंज हो गई ना, अगर आपने पिछले लाइफ में कुछ किया था and now you have changed your body, okay, but the कर्म का फल will find you, ठीक है ना, it will not leave you like that. So it will be able to recognize you wherever you are and whatever you are doing. So that way nobody can is spared from the fal. Now that is one explanation for why people suffer when they have not done anything bad. Okay, it may be something in the past that was done, and now you are suffering through it. In fact, another way to understand it, हमने बात की हुई है इन सब ये examples. I mean, a lot of people know that, right? That the barrel of rice. I mean, अगर आपने ऊपर से गांव में, there are people who store these barrels in the in some kind of whatever container, right? और उस कंटेनर में ऊपर से आप इस साल का अच्छा राइस डालते हो, पर पिछले साल का जो बुरा राइस है वो फिर भी बाहर आ रहा है, एंड यू आर थिंकिंग कि मैं ऊपर से अच्छा राइस डालता हूँ बट बुरा राइस क्यों बाहर आ रहा है, right? Because it's a old thing that was stored in the past. Now once that thing is exhausted, then yes, the good rice will also come. तो इसलिए अगर आप अच्छा कर रहे हो तो then some point of time, yes, you will start seeing the fruits of it, but not now. Maybe you are cleaning up the past thing which was done, and for that you'll have to suffer a bit. Okay, so that is the reason why people suffer, even the people who are good apparently, they suffer. So any questions so far? This is just karma revision. I mean,
प्रभु जी, अगर पूरी लाइफ आदमी कर्म अच्छा करे, लेकिन लास्ट मतलब कि जब लास्ट टाइम आता है और फिर जो स्लाइड चलता है उस समय अगर मतलब कुछ और सोचे, फिर तो हो गया।
नहीं, क्या सोचे मतलब
कुछ जैसे कि अगर घर का अटैचमेंट हो गया या फिर किसी मतलब फैमिली मेंबर्स में से किसी का भी रहा और वो फिर उसके बारे में सोचे।
हाँ, तो माता जी एक्चुअली are you able to hear the question? People on the
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the question, we did something good in our life and we discussed in Discover Yourself, right? कि मतलब जो last moment में whatever you think is what the body you get, right? That's what we discussed in Discover Yourself. So what if अगर last में life के last moment पे we are not able to think about God, right? Because हम and if we are attached to something else, maybe our dog, right? Then will we get the body of the dog, right? That is the question. So I was reading a quote from someone yesterday, day before yesterday. What he said, this one devotee. So what he was saying is कि हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा परेशान रहते हैं इस बात को लेके कि लाइफ के लास्ट में क्या होगा, will we be able to remember Krishna or not? He says कि मतलब I have heard it from so many people who ask the same question, right? But I don't see so many people bothered about कि अभी जब हम जिंदा है ना, तो are we able to remember Krishna? मतलब day and night. He says कि उसके लिए किसी को इतनी चिंता नहीं है जितना मरने के बारे में सबको चिंता है. Yeah, but if we are able to remember God all the time in our life, then most likely, because we don't know when is our last moment, right? Most likely you'll remember him. The chances are very, very high that you will remember him. बाकी 12 पुराण में God promises also, right? कि मतलब if my devotee is not able to remember me, then I'll remember him, type of thing, right? So there is no, we should not think too much about कि क्या होगा. Anything can happen, and it is also possible that you may have a lot of devotees near you at that time doing some good things, right? Anything can happen. Let's not think negative. Let's think positive, right? And I was hearing one. So there's Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. Basically, he's a very he was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he wrote a couple of books. I mean, during his last time, he had cancer and he left his body like that. So he says one thing, like is very nice thing he said. He said ki basically just close your eyes and think about the people. Like if you're about to die, then who are the people you think will be around you? जो लोगों को पता चलेगा, if they get to know that you are about to die, okay, who are those people who will come when they hear that you are dying? Okay, and also think what they will be thinking, okay, right now, I mean at that time, okay, and also think what do they think about you right now, right? And if you think that those are the people who will come to meet you, then this is the time, I mean, like open your eyes and actually you should start working for that. Like वो जो लोग है ना, they are really precious people, because they are the ones जो आपको यहाँ से निकाल के लेके जाएंगे बाद में. So start working with those people जो आपको लगता है कि really valuable है. Okay, I mean spend some good energy with them, because they are the ones who will actually save you. some point of time. There are a lot of promises, by the way, like acharyas do and variety of things. But yes, I mean, we have to, I mean, one thing is like, what kind of association do we create in our life, right? And oh, because people see what is.
Can I ask something?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just now you said they will save you from. So save you means what? Save you from what?
Okay, so basically, when he says this, I mean, he's not talking about those people. Of course, see, if people around us, if they are, they actually have faith in the Vedic wisdom, right? What Bhagavad Gita says, then what will they do at that time? Because if they know that by making you remember Krishna, by making you remember God, you can be saved. Okay, you will actually can go back to Vaikuntha. If they know that, then they will do this. Okay,
If
but
they are not doing, like if they are not practicing and
yeah,
they
then we
are
should.
normal people, then
That is what he says. कि मतलब now open your eyes and start working on those people, right? Because they are the ones who can actually save you,
no. But
right?
if your family is not into it and you are the only one who's doing it, then so
Huh.
you should leave your family and
No,
you should
no,
make
you should not
association.
leave your family. You should inspire them to actually understand Vedic wisdom. Okay, this is nothing rocket science, right? This is not see, if you think that ये कोई ISKCON का कोई है जो कुछ कुछ बता रहा है, but ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. मतलब think about it कि this is written in Bhagavad Gita, okay, and not just Bhagavad Gita, so many other Puranas. What I am saying is written all over the place. I can quote so many verses where they say कि the last moment of your life, whatever you remember, is what you get. And this has been proven also. I can tell you some reincarnation cases. Okay, and you'll get shivers. मतलब, those are living people right now also. So whatever they were thinking, and they tell ki what they were thinking before at the time of death, and that is what they are. Like if a boy he was thinking about a girl, then he is a girl right now. Okay, kind of thing. So what I'm saying is this is no mambo jumbo. I mean, it's written in Bhagavad Gita. I'm not making it up. So point is ki yes, are we able to remember God at that time? If we want to go back, so yeah, we need to work. I mean, it is if we really think it is important for us.
ये जो चीजें बड़ी बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगती है समझने में, इवन तो एक्सेप्ट कर लेता हूँ मैं। जैसे लाइफ भगवान की पूजा, जैसे जो जड़ महाराज जो पास्ट टाइम है उसमें he was a very good deity, but in the last time he was very much attached to deer. That's the reason he got deer body. तो इसमें पूरे टाइम जो उन्होंने इतना अच्छी पूजा करी थी, फिर वो भगवान ने कैसे कंसीडर नहीं किया?
नहीं, see, Bharat Maharaj was not in the pure stage of prema. Okay, Bharat Maharaj was in the stage of asakti. Okay, so he was very high, in a very very high level, but he was not there yet. और उनके लिए भगवान भगवत गीता में बताते हैं कि people who actually fall down without completing it, right? They get a birth in a pious family, or they get a birth in a like in a family who are rich enough so that they can grow in spirituality, and they continue from where they left. Okay, and that is what he did. Okay. So in his next two lives, Bharat Maharaj actually practiced spirituality somehow or the other, so that he could go out.
अगर मैं इसी चीज को अजामिल की कहानी से जो फर्स्ट टाइम उससे कंपेयर करता हूँ, तो मुझे जो एक लर्निंग मिलती है वो मतलब हमेशा जो बार बार मैं ऐसे क्लासेस में रिपीट करके अपने आप को रिमाइंड कराता हूँ, वो है कि अगर आपने कुछ भी किया हो पूरी लाइफ में, पर अगर somehow अगर if you are able to manage to remember Lord at the time of death, then Lord will save you.
See, actually क्या होता है ना कि there are so many things which happen around us, right, in the world. Okay, but not everything makes it to newspaper. Correct. The things which make it to newspaper, जो newspaper में आता है ना, वो ऐसी चीजें होती हैं which are prominent enough things. So the things that we read in Bhagavatam, ऐसा नहीं है कि उस जमाने में और भी बहुत कुछ नहीं हो रहा होगा, बट हमें भागवतम में जो पढ़ने को मिलता है ना, those are the things which actually are supposed to make some difference in life. Correct. You don't read about all the kings in the world and everything, whatever they were doing and all sort of things, right? So that is the difference. So here, these stories of Achamil or Jad Bharat, they actually are there to teach us some lessons. ठीक है. So the lesson from Ajamil's story is that कि हाँ भगवान का नाम इतना पावरफुल है कि अगर आपके बेटे का नाम, even if you are a bad person, but आपके बेटे का नाम भी कुछ नारायण है और आप लास्ट मोमेंट पे उतनी you are attached to Narayan and you are shouting Narayan Narayan, then also you can get about to get liberated, right? So that is what it teaches us कि what is the value of holy name. I mean, you know, भगवान के नाम की कितना महत्व है वो हमें ये बताता है. We can keep on thinking about variety of other theories, but that is what the specific thing that it is trying to teach us. Correct. And the other story teaches us कि yes, you continue life after life, you continue your spiritual journey. And life, see, this death and birth is not a big thing, I can tell you. I mean, अगर आप spirituality को ढंग से समझो ना, तो मरना जीना कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है. It is, you are a soul, and this is your own journey. Okay. Now, whether you complete it in this life or 10 lives after this, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Because as a soul, there is nothing which can touch you. But are you ready to wait that much and suffer in this world? Yes, that is your call.
प्रभु के जैसे कि हमारी जो नॉलेज है और हमारी जो लर्निंग है, हमारे जो रियलाइजेशन है, मुझे कभी भी ऐसा नहीं लगता कि बहुत ज्यादा इम्प्रूव होते हैं. कहने का मतलब है कि हम बार बार लूप में फंस जाते हैं माया के. हम कोशिश करते हैं कि कुछ हमने सीखा उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, फिर दूसरे दिन किसी माया के किसी नए चक्कर में फंस जाते हैं, तो हमारी जो जर्नी ऐसे जिगजैग हो जाती है. तो मुझे जैसे ये लगता है कि जैसे जड़ महाराज जो थे, उन्होंने जैसे वो डेफिनेटली हमसे ज्यादा एलिवेटेड थे, और जस्ट बिकॉज लास्ट के मोमेंट में वो एक डियर से अटैच थे, तो वो डियर की लाइफ मिली उनको. फिर आई थिंक 2 या 3 उन्होंने बर्थ ऐसे लिए थे. तो अभी इस मतलब इस कलयुग में विद दिस काइंड ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस,
ओके,
ये कि आई थिंक इट इज वेरी टफ.
इट इज नॉट इजी, आई कैन टेल यू कि इतना आसान नहीं है इस दुनिया से निकलना. सी एक्चुअली इट इज लाइक दिस, राइट? अगर मतलब आप ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि अगर आपको इस तरह की हालत में भेज दिया जाए ना, जिस हालत में हम लोग अभी हैं वैकुंठ में, तो वहां पर भी जाके आप परेशान कर दोगे लोगों को, राइट? तमाशे क्रिएट कर दोगे. सो बिकॉज ऑफ विच दिस माया एग्जिस्ट, राइट? द माया एग्जिस्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड, ताकि वो बिल्कुल आपको प्यूरिफाई करके यू नो स्टैम्प ओके टेस्टेड वाला लगा के भेजे कि नहीं, यस एग्जैक्टली रेडी टू शिप हो आप, मतलब बिल्कुल डिप्लॉय कर दो अभी. सो अदरवाइज यू आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट हैवॉक देयर वंस यू रीच देयर, राइट? सो दैट इज द होल पॉइंट. आई मीन, सो इसलिए यस, दिस स्ट्रगल एग्जिस्ट, okay, but are you actually becoming a better person life after life? That can be proved, by the way. That can be actually proved. See, I can tell you one simple logic. आप आराम से बैठ के समझ सकते हो उसे. हम लोग अपने material life में, people who are in a purely material life, right? You are working in a job, you don't have any spiritual conception, but आप वहां पर भी क्या देखते हो पता है कि अगर मैं ज्यादा शोरगुल करता हूं, if I am not humble, right? If I don't listen to orders of my superiors, then I'm thrown out of the company, right? Then I don't grow. Okay, and that gradually teaches you how to be humble. Okay, of course life में आप देखते हो कि मतलब जब बाहर अपनी life में anyways you keep on getting problems in life, right? Whether you like it or not. I'm just talking about purely a person who's not at all into spirituality, right? Even those people, after years and years, आप देखोगे जब people who are like 50-60 years of age, they become very humble and tolerant and things like that, right? For them life becomes like कि अरे it's okay, धीरे धीरे होने दो, it's okay, ज्यादा चिंता नहीं करते हैं, घबराते नहीं है, टेंशन नहीं लेते हैं, right? जितने जो यंग लोग होते हैं उनको ज्यादा टेंशन होती है. Have you noticed that, right? That you gradually still start developing those qualities. This system जो है ना इस world का, that is meant to take you to the right direction, whether you are spiritual or you are material or whatever it is. And those people next life, yes, they will get into something where they start from being slightly humble. Okay, I mean, you'll meet people who are generally humble also, right? Who generally have those good qualities on their own, बचपन से ही होती है. Okay, so I'm saying like this is a place where you are supposed to get corrected. जैसे जेल में डालते हैं ना, तो आपके साथ आपको धीरे धीरे सुधार होता है. So that is what is going on. Whether you want to be spiritual or not want to be spiritual, that is different thing. You are going to get gradually go up. The problem is कि वो जो gradual है ना process, that is a very long process. Okay, it could take, it's like evolving from, as per Darwin, it is like evolving from monkey to human, right? That is the kind of process it is. So are you ready to go to that process? Yes. I mean, so see, we also believe in evolution, but we say that it's a evolution of soul. It is not the evolution of body that is happening, right? Soul evolves gradually. life after life. So that is going to happen. But इतना वेट करने के लिए आप रेडी हो तो ठीक है, अगर नहीं रेडी हो तो श्रीमद् भागवतम, भगवद गीता, एवरीबडी टॉक्स अबाउट वन फाइनल थिंग कि मतलब सीधा सीधा ये सब करके निकल सकते हो. इज इट अ इजी थिंग और इज इट नॉट अ इजी थिंग? नोबडी इज सेइंग कि इट इज अ इजी थिंग. I mean, I'm not saying that, but there are promises that scriptures do, and if we actually take to scriptures, then the promises are very very solid कि मतलब आप जा सकते हो, right? So but how to think about it in the last moment? Yes, you can think about it. अगर आप अपने आसपास इतना association create करते हो लोगों का कि they are ready to stand for you at that time, then yes, it is totally possible, right? But उसके लिए हमें but I mean, I'm not a crazy person. Why am I giving this class here, by the way, right? The reason why I'm doing this is so that I have people around me who actually can stand for me when I'm about to die. Okay, so I have my own agenda, right? So why not? I mean, so because when I came to this city, I had nobody here, right? I mean, who could have stood for me? So it's just a simple logic, right? So we have to be practical and think about ourselves. Anyways, so deviation, but that's not the only reason why. But just giving an
Yeah,
analogy.
can I ask one thing
Yes,
here?
please.
Yeah, just now you said that past actions bring present reactions.
Hmm.
So, like if we are doing some spiritual activity, so does the effects reduces when we are doing spiritual
Yeah,
practice of the past
yeah, yeah.
actions?
I'll talk about that in some slides. Wait for 2 slides. I
Okay,
will
fine.
put hours for that.
Okay.
Okay. This is not supposed to be an exhaustive karma class, but I am just revising and for all these questions also. Okay, so one more thing, last thing, because it connects to this topic. Coming back about the after the whatever 101 on karma is like कि karma और reincarnation जो है ना, they are complementary. Okay, you know, because reincarnation makes us view life beyond one life, right? आपके लिए एक continuity होती है because of reincarnation. So because of that, you can see life as like it is going through death, birth, but there is a continuity there, right? If and as I said, right, so if reincarnation doesn't exist, तो फिर karma is not complete. कि मैंने इस लाइफ में कुछ बुरा किया, but I died. Because I died, तो मेरे कर्मा का क्या होगा, right? और अगर सिर्फ कर्मा नहीं होता और एंड देयर इज ओनली रीइंकार्नेशन, देन ऑल ऑफ अस शुड हैव बॉर्न इक्वल, राइट? फिर कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होना चाहिए था. सो इसलिए रीइंकार्नेशन के बाद द वेरिएशन विच एग्जिस्ट इज बिकॉज ऑफ कर्मा. सो दीज टू थिंग्स आर लाइक कॉम्प्लीमेंटरी, दे गो हैंड इन हैंड. Okay, without one the other does not make sense. So that is, and these two are like the pillars of a lot of Vedic wisdom. So that is coming to this verse. Okay, कि karma और reincarnation connected है somehow or the other, right? I hope that point is clear, right? That is the main point that I wanted to make after this. Okay, if it is clear, I'll ask questions, don't worry. Okay, if everything is clear, then yeah. So what is this which Krishna is trying to break here, right? So there is something called as karma mimamsa. Okay. Some people also call it karmavad, but karmavad is slightly different. So I'll not talk about too many terms. कर्म अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक है. सो कर्म मीमांसा क्या होता है ना, कि इट सेज कि एज आई सेड, राइट, कि यू आर द मैन इज द मेकर ऑफ हिज ओन डेस्टिनी, राइट? दैट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ कर्म मीमांसा. ओके, कर्म मीमांसा कहता है कि और कुछ है ही नहीं, सिर्फ कर्म है और फल है. देयर इज नथिंग हायर देन दैट. ओके, देयर इज नो गॉड. Okay, there is something, soul is required, because as I said कि you cannot explain karma without soul. तो soul है, पर आप कर्म करते हो और फल मिलता है, और फिर ऐसे करते करते चलते रहते हो. इनफैक्ट जो स्ट्रिक्ट डेफिनेशन ऑफ कर्म मीमांसा सेज कि आप जो बॉर्न हुए हो ना, वो आपके पिछले कर्म के कारण हुए हो, एंड एज यू एग्जॉस्ट योर प्रीवियस कर्मास, आपकी डेथ हो जाएगी. ओके, सो यू आर गोइंग थ्रू दिस till you are basically alive because of your karmas, और कर्म खत्म होंगे तो फिर से डेथ हो जाएगी. और पर अपने इस प्रोसेस में और कर्म, यू हैव कलेक्टेड मोर कर्मास, और उसके कारण आपकी नेक्स्ट बर्थ होगी. दिस इज द स्ट्रिक्ट डेफिनेशन ऑफ कर्म मीमांसा, एंड दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट कृष्णा इज सेइंग. ओके, कि मतलब जातस्य से ही ध्रुव मृत्यु ध्रुवम जन्मामृतस्य च, कि आपकी डेथ हुई है, फिर बर्थ होगी, फिर डेथ होगी. ये सब होता रहेगा बिकॉज आप इस पाथ को समझते हो, बिकॉज यू आर थिंकिंग इन द टर्म्स ऑफ कर्म मीमांसा. You are thinking more like karmavad, also people say, as I said. So karmavad or karma mimamsa is what you are understanding, right? कि मतलब आपकी बर्थ और डेथ सिर्फ इसलिए हो रही है क्योंकि कर्म के कारण, because you have to go through the next cycle to go through your karmas and the karma phalas. So that is what you're going through. So that is, it is, as I said, it is a atheism with reincarnation, right? That you believe in soul, but you don't believe in God. Okay. Now, but of course, this is not something which is a Vedic thing, right? Karma Mimamsa is not the Vedic understanding. But होता क्या है ना कि आपको ऐसे लोग मिल जाएंगे इस दुनिया में, बहुत सारे हैं. I mean, I can tell you, who believe only in karmas, कि मतलब मैं अपने endeavor के through अपनी destiny बनाता हूँ. Correct. I don't believe in anything else. Right? They don't. Maybe some people are there who don't even understand soul, but they just know कि everything is because of their endeavor. Whatever they are getting in life is because of their endeavor. Correct? इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. That definition, actually, if you don't believe in soul and you are just talking about this is called कर्मवाद. Specifically, जब आप सिर्फ ये बोल रहे हो कि मतलब अपनी डेस्टिनी मैं इसके कारण बनाऊंगा, अपने एफर्ट से बनाऊंगा. Okay, but and that is also not correct. Okay, I'll not get into why it's not correct. If you want, I can tell, but out of scope. But basically, so either karmavad or karmimamsa, they believe in similar lines of thoughts, right? Or and it's atheism, because here you don't believe in God. कि God जैसी कोई चीज नहीं है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ कर्म है. Okay, this point is clear, right? Hopefully online. या बहुत ज्यादा heavy हो गया.
No, it's clear.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead. As I said, the strict definition of karma mimamsa is already explained in the previous one. So this is coming from there is one philosopher called Gautam. Okay, he wrote Nyaya, one of the Nyayas called Gautam Nyaya. So basically there he talks about this particular philosophy, okay, of karma mimamsa. So it's, as I said, कि मतलब body is redundant. I mean the strict definition is कि body is redundant. Body का कोई value नहीं है. सिर्फ आप पैदा हो रहे हो और मर रहे हो, जो soul जो कर रहा है, that is only and only because of his karma. So yeah, all right. So what Krishna says here, Krishna is defeating karma mimamsa by saying that you don't want to fight, right? आपको इसलिए fight नहीं करना है because you think कि भीष्मा और द्रोणा ये सारे लोग मर जाएंगे, and with that thought you are not ready to fight. That's what you are thinking. Now with that, the problem is कि उनकी death फिर भी होने वाली है. I mean, if you believe that karma mimamsa exists, right? If you think that that is the reality, then you have to understand. So if you believe in that, but they are going to die, right? Because as per karma mimamsa, they cannot survive beyond a point, because apne karma exhaust karke they will die, and then they will take birth again. Now if this is what is going to happen, then they will keep taking birth, and then they'll get a next birth also. For such people who are going to take birth and death, what is the big deal, right? Why do you worry for that? Because unke apne karma hai and you have your own karmas, and that's why he says ki you still have to do your karma, because you believe in this, right? कि कर्म ही सब कुछ है, and if you believe in that, तो आपको अपना कर्म तो करना ही है, and they are going through life and death because of their karmas. So what is the big deal here? I mean, if everybody is going through that, right? So okay.
So one question.
Yeah.
So one question that so if somebody is doing like a bad karma and based on that he is getting in next life, and next life he is getting into the like not a good place mostly because he has to suffer whatever he has done in the past life.
Correct.
So the question is that that how he will get the opportunity to look at the right path, because we इस कर्मा इस लाइफ में उसे गलत किया, अगली लाइफ में भी गलत करेगा, फिर उसके बाद भी गलत करेगा. तो ऐसे करते करते will he get some time opportunity to look at?
Of course. I mean, think about those hippies, right? मतलब they were suffering. I mean, the people there, they were all suffering. How they got purified? So there are many ways to intervene in the system. That's why I'm saying कि कर्म मीमांसा वैदिक नहीं है. Okay, this is not the truth. Krishna सिर्फ ये बता रहे हैं, and in next slide onwards I'll tell that. मतलब the Vedic understanding. But basically this is not a Vedic understanding. Okay, but Krishna फिर भी बोल रहे हैं कि अगर आपको ऐसी वाली अंडरस्टैंडिंग है तो भी मैं बताता हूँ कि क्या गड़बड़ है यहाँ पे. Okay, तब भी फाइट करो. मतलब his only aim is कि फाइट करो, right? That's what he is bothered about. So आप कौन सी भी philosophy लेके आओ, he'll break it and he'll say कि फाइट करो. Right, and that's what we should also think, right? That we have to fight. I mean, we have to do our dharma, no matter whatever somebody comes up with. So yeah, he's saying कि Bhishma and Drona is not going to escape death, right? क्योंकि जाता से ही ध्रुव मृत्यु. I mean, जिसने जन्म लिया है उसकी मृत्यु तो होने ही वाली है, and they are also going to die. Okay, and as per karma mimamsa, this was like slightly advanced thing that I explained. But even as per that understanding, आपकी जन्म और मृत्यु होने ही वाली है based on your karma. So you have your own karmas, then keep doing that, right? But of course, this verse can be misinterpreted, right? So it's a word of caution. कि मतलब anybody can quote this verse, and this is not meant for foolish people. This is meant for people who are self-realized. And when I say self-realized, it means people who understand that they are soul and everybody is a soul, right? Those people are called self-realized people, by the way. That is the definition. So people who are self-realized can only understand the meaning of this verse. बाकी लोग क्या बोलेंगे कि अरे जिसने जन्म लिया है उसकी मृत्यु होनी ही है, राइट? तो इसका मतलब मैं मार दूं उसे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, करेक्ट? क्योंकि वो तो ऐसे भी मरने वाला था. Those are the this what those foolish people will say, right? So it does not it doesn't say ki resort to violence. We have to understand that on what authority Arjuna was being asked, right? It was God himself who was standing in next to him and telling him to kill. Okay, if that level of thing happens, then yes, it is okay, right? But otherwise this is not okay. Why it is not okay? uh, because so this is some things that I talked in the past, but I'll still tell you कि right, somebody will say कि अरे मुझे क्या मैं किसी को मार के लिबरेशन ले सकता हूँ, like the Arjuna's point, right? कि can I get liberation by killing someone? या फिर मैं पैसे अगर खूब सारे इकट्ठे मेरे पास पड़े हुए हैं, can I get liberation by having that money, right? I mean that could be a question here, but here it is happening. And it happens in the material world also कि आप किसी को मार के भी लिबरेशन ले सकते हो material world में भी. I mean, you'll get awards in the material world, right, by killing people, and this is obvious. And that happens when you are killing on authority. I mean, agar aap ek army mein ho, then because of that authority you will kill someone, and because of that you will get lot of awards and money and things like that, right? So if the authority is proper, and for money also, right? If you are a cashier and the bank asks you to collect this money, count that money and all sort of things, and if you are counting that money without being attached to that money, then you are the right person, right? तब आप progress करोगे अपनी job में. अगर if you get attached to that money and you keep 200 rupees in your pocket, then yes, then you get into trouble. So that is the material understanding, right? That's why I'm saying कि forget spirituality. Even material world teaches us all of this. कि हाँ, आपको अनअटैच्ड होके एक कैशियर को अपने पैसे काउंट करने हैं और वो पैसे बैंक में रखने हैं, और उसे अटैच और इस तरह की चीजों पे नहीं आना है कि ये पैसे मैं थोड़े से रख लेता हूँ अपने पास सेव करके. दिस इज व्हाट वी डू, बट इन द अदर पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ दिस इज व्हाट वी एग्जैक्टली ट्राई टू डू, राइट? कि ये घर मेरा है, ये वो मेरा है, कार मेरा है, बट ऑल्दो नथिंग ऑफ दैट बिलोंग्स टू यू in general, right? I mean, when you came here in this world, this land always existed. Maybe this house, the house where you are living, also existed. You just came here as a thief, right? And you said ki ye mera hai, but that is not true. So but if it is done in a proper authority, then the same thing can actually avoid you, or you can get liberated. And that is what is being asked to Arjuna, because there is a proper authority who is asking him to fight. So there is no sin, because for army man there is no sin. He's not hanged for killing someone. Okay. Any questions so far?
But every time we cannot have a authority censorship. Like suppose, but we will take it to example. One person is killing a person, somebody, because of for some property matter or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is a bad thing. Suppose he is doing. Another example we can make: a person is killing another person to save someone, maybe somebody, maybe child or somebody. But both are doing the same type of act. There is no authority there, right? So, and both will have they will get the karma's reaction there.
Yeah.
What is the good and what? Of course, this is a bad. But we can say this is a good or bad.
We don't know which is good and bad. Okay, so I just for the sake of audio, I mean for the sake of online people, I'll repeat the question. कि कभी-कभी we don't know the authority, right? अभी रोड पे अगर कोई एक बच्चे को कोई मार रहा है, then you go and kill the person who was beating the kid, right? Or whatever, about to kill the kid, right? So and then you go and kill him, right? The other thing is when you are actually for the sake of money you kill someone. So now when you do it for the sake of money, it is a bad thing, and when you save the child, it is a good thing. Right, that is the good and bad of moral values, right? But there is no authority. Then how do we decide? But these are like black and white cases. There could be many gray cases also, right? I don't know किसी ने Spider-Man movie देखी है तो first part of Spider-Man movie, if if somebody saw that, तो उसमें जो Peter Parker is there, right? I mean, I'll just take a deviation to explain this point. So Peter Parker, what he does, कि मतलब उसके his uncle उनसे उनकी fight मतलब he has some kind of a thing with his uncle, right? Ben Parker से, and then he goes to his college और वहां पर वो जाता नहीं है college and he fights and does some weird things to make money. And when he was coming back from that after the fight, तो एक उसे चोर मिलता है और उस चोर जो चोरी करके जा रहा होता है, and this guy because he was angry with the person जो दूसरा बंदा जिससे वो चोरी कर रहा होता है, Peter Parker let that thief go, okay, because उसको लगता है कि मैं इसे सबक सिखाऊंगा, इसलिए वो उसे जाने देता है. और उसके बाद क्या होता है कि after that he goes out and he sees कि वो देखता है कि वो चोर ने उसके अंकल को मार दिया होता है, okay, और उसी चोर ने, तो उसे बड़ा दुख होता है इस बात का कि मतलब this is I could have saved him by whatever stopping him at that time, right? So what is good, what is bad is very complicated that way. I mean, if you think कि शायद उसे रोकना चाहिए था, but उसके लिए वो भी सही था क्योंकि उसने उसे धोखा दिया था. And that guy didn't pay him money to Peter Parker. Okay, I don't know if anybody remembers that movie, but because he didn't pay the money, इसलिए पीटर पार्कर ने उसे जाने दिया, और जब उसे जाने दिया तो उसने उसके अंकल को मार दिया उस चोर ने. Now what was good, what was bad is complicated, right? You don't know कि शायद उसे रोकना चाहिए था उस पॉइंट पे उस थीफ को, या शायद जाने देना चाहिए था, वो भी सही है, और उसके अंकल को मार दिया इसलिए वो बुरा आदमी हो गया. अभी वो किसी और को मारा होता तो शायद वो ओके भी होता, मतलब because this guy was not bothered, right? This is how we think in terms of moral science. We don't know. हाँ, अगर सपोज कि एक टेररिस्ट को कोई मार रहा है, राइट, तो आप उसे सेव करेंगे क्या टेररिस्ट को? नहीं, राइट, बिकॉज वी थिंक दैट इज अवर ओन, राइट, बिकॉज ये ओन वगैरह जो है ना, स्क्रिप्चर्स श्रीमद् भागवतम बोलता है कि दिस इज लाइक अ स्किन डिसीज. आई मीन यू डोंट नो हु इज योर ओन. लाइक हो सकता है कि जो वो टेररिस्ट था ना लास्ट लाइफ में वो आपका रिश्तेदार था, ओके, यू हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट दैट. आई मीन जस्ट दैट नाउ यू नो दिस, बट यू डोंट नो कि पहले क्या था. I'm not saying we don't save our child. That is not the point. The point the reason why I'm making it more and more complicated is we don't know कि कौन हमारा है और कौन पराया है और क्या सही है और क्या गलत है ना. इसका अथॉरिटी हमारे पास, हम अपने सोच से नहीं कर सकते. Now this goes back to discover yourself, right? Anybody from discover yourself who remembers this कि what is the authority? Okay, I think काफी टाइम हो गया लग रहा है मुझे discover yourself हो गया. So but okay, let me tell. But the point is कि हमारे प्रत्यक्ष और अनुमान से ना हम लोग सच्चाई के बारे में बिल्कुल भी पता नहीं कर सकते. The प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण and अनुमान प्रमाण are flawed because our senses, our perceptions are also flawed. I mean, as I said, right, कि मतलब we sometimes think कि अरे ये सही है, फिर कभी लगता है कि ये गलत है, and it changes every day. I mean, when we think from our perception, these moral values also keep changing. I mean, अगर एक छोटे बच्चे को ये नहीं पता, राइट, कि फ्रेंडशिप हैज शेयरिंग इज केयरिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल, राइट, सो फॉर हिम अपना सब कुछ अपने पास रख लो, दैट इज द राइट थिंग टू डू. बट एज वी टीच हिम कि शेयरिंग इज केयरिंग, सो ही विल ट्राई टू शेयर आल्सो बिकॉज वी टॉट हिम दैट थिंग. सो द पॉइंट इज कि फ्रॉम आवर ओन परसेप्शन वी मे बी मेकिंग अ मिस्टेक. सो व्हाट इज द अथॉरिटी? द अथॉरिटी आर स्क्रिप्चर्स. देयर इज pretty much no other authority other than that. I mean, so if we think from that point of view, then the world is very different. I mean, शास्त्र चक्षु से वर्ल्ड बहुत ही डिफरेंट है. Okay, then you can then you'll actually love everyone, be it a terrorist, be it whoever. They are all soul, by the way. How does it matter if a Pakistani person is born in Pakistan? How does it matter? I mean, you know, I mean, if you ask me, Pakistan is not a bad place, by the way. Like a lot of Vedic things exist there. I mean, I really aspire to go there someday, but of course not with terrorists being there. But the point is ki, like, you know, right and wrong cannot be figured out from our perception and not from our moral values also. The scriptures is what tell us what is right and what is wrong. Yeah, whether we do, of course nobody is saying you don't save people. I mean, nobody is saying we kill people, but if given a right authority, I mean, we have to understand what is the right understanding, because otherwise बहुत ही पता है, this world is like a mirage. I mean, if somebody see, if a child comes, I mean, if I tell you a fictional story कि एक child रोते हुए आ रहा है और बोल रहा है मुझे भूख लगी है, तो मुझे कचौड़ी खानी है, okay, और वो रो रहा है और भूखा है, so what will you do? Of course आप कचौड़ी बना के उसे खिला दोगे, which is the right thing to do maybe. But if I tell you कि अरे he has actually fever, right, और इस तरह का oily food is going to actually increase his problem, right, because you didn't knew that, right, because from your perception senses you cannot figure out the reality. So the world is very complicated. we have only partial information. So that is why scriptures are the thing which are called aparushaya. They are the ones who go beyond our perception. So what they tell, the best policy is actually to follow it. And if you don't follow it, you will actually realize it after years and years. You spend your entire life and then you realize कि देखो मैंने इन लोगों के लिए कितना किया, अपने लोगों के लिए, but ये सब बड़े होके सब चले गए और अभी मैं अकेला रह गया, type of thing. Now this you could have realized way back, right? Oh, you are a soul, you are an individual. Of course you have to do your duty. I mean, those kids, you have to raise them up, but do not forget that you have your own responsibility about yourself also. Okay, of course do everything for everyone, but what about you, because at the end of the life you are alone, right? This is not supposed to be pessimistic what I'm saying. There are too many other things that scriptures say, but yeah, that's the point. Right and wrong cannot be decided based on our perception, right? And for that we have to be fixed in scriptures. I mean, as we are fixed in scriptures, if we really understand them by heart, if we are hearing from some authorities the right things, then we can figure out the right and wrong. That is the way to figure out, right? What is right and what is wrong. Does it make sense to everyone? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right. Yeah. Okay, going ahead. Yeah, so coming back to, so karma mimamsa and karmavad basically. So see, if somebody says ki this is Vedic, right, and ki Vedic, because karma sounds like a Vedic thing, and then because of which somebody might start saying ki karma is the only thing, right? There is nothing else beyond karma. But no scriptures actually agree with this particular point, that there is only karma and then there is no God. Okay, and because if that is the case, तो आप ये कर्म के चक्कर में फंसे ही रहोगे हमेशा. Vedanta Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, which specifically talks, which is like the very high Vedic authority, right? It's a very high Vedic authority, Vedanta Sutra. So Vedanta Sutra says specifically that, this last verse, if you see, which I projected, no written because of scriptures, no written because of scriptures. So it's a Vedanta Sutra is a very cryptic book. Okay, बहुत छोटे छोटे verses हैं जिनका मीनिंग निकालने में ना दिमाग खराब हो सकता है. Okay, that is why every sampradaya has written a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam itself is a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. It's a very small book and which has very few shlokas. Okay, बहुत छोटा सा है, but कुछ समझता नहीं है देख के. Okay, so the last one which it says is very interesting. No written because of scriptures. So what it says is कि अगर कर्म मीमांसा और कर्मवाद was the only thing, then you will always be going in cycles, right? But you will not go into cycles if you follow scriptures. This is what it says, that by following scriptures you can get out of it. Okay. And the first verse, what it says is that Agnihotra and other Vedic sacrifices are meant only for producing knowledge, and it is as per Vedas also. So basically what it says is ki, yes, you have to cultivate knowledge through scriptures and then you can get out because of that. Okay. So if you don't follow scriptures, then yes, you remember, right, Prabhupada ka ek purport I showed in one of the slides where it said ki for the material people, for the people who are into just eat, drink and be merry, for such people this karma, law of karma exists, right? But if a person follows scriptures, if he cultivates knowledge, then he can get out of this. Now how this particular verse from Padma Purana explains it very well. I'll not explain a lot of things because it's a very technical verse, but I'll tell the gist of it. Okay, the verse is like this: aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramineva praliyeta vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. So probably this is the third time I'm repeating, I'm talking about this verse here, but basically what it says is ki this apraradham phalam papam kutam bijam, ये सब क्या है, someday we'll talk about it, but these are all some nitty gritties of karmas. Okay, karma जितना हमें पता है ना उससे बहुत ज्यादा है. So but it says ki all those things, whatever it is, okay, all of those can be by Vishnu bhakti, by chanting of holy names, all sinful reactions, okay, whether fructified or in stalk or in the form of a seed, they gradually vanish. This is what Padma Purana says. ठीक है, कि by doing a bhakti of Vishnu, by following the scriptures, by doing a devotional service, by chanting the name of the supreme God, all of these things vanish. ठीक है. So for the question when which somebody was asking, right, कि मतलब भक्ति से क्या ऐसा खत्म हो सकता है? So yes, I mean this verse, in fact this is not the only verse. I mean Brahma Samhita also talks about the same thing, and many other scriptures, right? कि karma, as I said, is not a big deal. I mean for a person, if you want to burn it like with seed and everything, it can be burnt like that. So yeah, this is the answer to that question. Any other thing? Okay. Any questions?
In the first slide, we saw that debit credit things, right? That you have a
Yeah.
debit, that you have to survive that and all. And then here we says that that take the holy name and then your sinful reactions are getting kind of nullified.
So actually karma is more complicated than debit credit, right? I mean it is much more than that. So karma में क्या होता है ना कि there is a seed which also is created, because जैसे ही आप एक सिगरेट पीते हो, या नहीं, सिगरेट छोटी चीज हो गई, मतलब when you drink wine, right, रात में खूब सारी वाइन पी ली आपने, आपको मजा आया, सुबह सुबह वॉमिट होगी और सर दुखेगा और हैंगओवर होगा, all those things happen, and then with all those things, and that is the reaction of that bad thing that you did. But in the morning when you feel that, of course you should leave, you should not do this again, right? But after some time when you meet the same set of friends और वो बोलते हैं कि चलो चलो फिर से पीते हैं, then you actually feel that urge and you go there. Now why that urge comes, even though you know कि इसका effect क्या होने वाला है? That urge comes because of the seed which was remaining in your heart. Okay, so then there are two types of karma, right? There is a manifested karma which comes out with the fruit, and then there is this unmanifested thing जो कि आपको दिखता नहीं है और आपके सीड की तरह रह जाता है. This is what this verse says, right? बीजम. So वो सब रह जाता है. So all the so it's more than that just debit credit, because even after going through the phala, आपका थोड़ा सा सीड फिर भी बच जाता है और वो सीड फिर से fructify होता है, which is causing you to do the more karmas, and that seed actually goes beyond life. Okay, or because it goes beyond life, you will see that sometimes people from the early age also are attracted to some things and others are not, right? In college you will find some people who get attracted to this smoking, this, that, and some people are not, right? Things like that, because of the seed that they carry, and that just fructifies in the right environment. So this verse specifically says कि कैसा भी कर्म हो, I mean even if it is like a fructified thing, if it is a seed and whatever it is, all of them can vanish by doing bhakti. So that's what it's saying. Yeah. Yeah. So you said ki debit credit and
Yeah. So as you are taking example that like the bad karmas, right? So for example, he did the bad karmas in the past life and all, and he got the, maybe due to that bad karma, he got the birth into that family, or he got the association around. Because if you look at that, more chances are there if you got bad karma, if you are in the association of bad people and all. And you got a birth or you got a association of those people who are doing bad karmas because of your bad karmas, whatever past life bad karmas and all. So how it
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, इतना पूरा नहीं है, मतलब इसमें बहुत सारे nitty-gritties हैं. Okay, it is not that simple. Basically, I hope the question was audible to everyone. Hopefully yes, right? Okay, so if the question was audible,
It was not clear. Can you say it again, please?
yeah, if it is not clear, let me repeat it. So basically what the question is ki, oh, because we did a bad karma, we will get to associate with bad people, because of which we'll do more bad karmas, and if we do good karmas, we'll get to meet good people, and because of which we'll do good karmas, right? कुछ ऐसा सा कुछ आप बोल रहे हो. So it is, there's no, like it's not black and white. Basically क्या होता है ना कि चीजें और भी complicated हैं. कई बार क्या होता है कि ये, तो just think about it like a cycle of karma and reaction. ठीक है, cycle across birth that is going on. Now इस cycle से ना निकालने के लिए ना बहुत सारे तरीके हैं, बहुत लोग निकाल सकते हैं यहाँ से. Okay, and in a very very quick way they can do that. ठीक है, so like one way is that, as Vedanta Sutra says, कि by scriptures, by knowledge you can get out. ठीक है, the other thing that Pan Purana says that, okay, by devotional service you can get out, right? Now the question is कि ये devotional service और scriptures आएंगे कहाँ से? Because the person is in a problem, right? अभी उसको ये सब समझता ही नहीं है, because he's doing such bad karmas that he is not going to get interested in these things, right? So many people we talk to, right, कि अरे भगवत गीता ले लो, अरे go hear Bhagavad Gita class and all that. Nobody is interested, and that is because of all these things which are happening, right? So how can they come out? Okay, so the solution that many, I mean, Bhagavad Gita also, like Krishna says this in, I think, 14th chapter or somewhere like that. So he says that so one thing, and actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gives this knowledge to Rupa Goswami in when he meets him. So what he says is कि ये जो है ना, everybody is going through this cycle of birth and death, right? Brahmand brahmite kono bhagyavan jeev, I mean, Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata beej. So he says कि बहुत लोग जा रहे हैं, गोल गोल घूम रहे हैं in this 8.4 million species. They are taking birth and death again and again, all these people, but because of a mercy of God, like Krishna and Guru is like a Vaishnava, anybody, right? Because of the mercy of a Vaishnava or Krishna, they get bhakti. Okay, the people who get bhakti like that, they are able to go beyond that. I mean, like, so the choice is ours. I mean, bottom line is that कि हमारे पास एक choice होती है हमेशा कि हम आज Saturday के दिन ये attend करें या फिर कुछ खाने पीने के लिए चले जाएं. That free will does exist with us. Krishna has not taken that free will from us. So that because that exists, you can choose to do some things. Okay, and that thing could be very, very small also. I mean, it could be as small as कि ठीक है हम किसी के पास जाते हैं और बोलते हैं कि ठीक है भगवत गीता ले लो. Okay, and he just says कि ठीक है 100 rupees की है. Okay, he takes it, right? And that person, by that small act, I mean, this is a very small act. It could be more smaller than that also. Somebody goes to a temple, कुछ अच्छे काम के लिए, चलो उसने 10 रुपए दान कर दिए, something like that, right? So that is like, and he doesn't do it for any purpose. Okay, so that goes into his sukriti balance, okay, which is beyond these karmic things. And if you do that, you may be able to somehow break that cycle. Okay, I mean, that's how it is broken. Or some devotee comes to you and says कि ये लो प्रसाद है भगवान का, खा लो types, मतलब, and you eat it, stuff like that, and that could actually motivate you in the right direction. I mean, lot of people, I don't know if some of you or maybe not, you will find that जिन्होंने कुछ random reasons से they came into bhakti. Okay, there was no specific thing which happened. Somebody said ऐसा कुछ छोटा सा. And one of the amazing thing about about this is that the Vaishnavas actually, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains this through Rupa Goswami ki, matlab, that one thing interesting about these Vaishnavas are ki they actually keep on liberating people randomly. I mean, they keep going to people on their own and they keep on liberating people for no reason. Okay, and they do that, and this is scriptural. I mean, you will say कि अरे ये कौन वाले ऐसा करते हैं, but that is not the point. Okay, you go to you look into the life of Narad Muni. Okay, one of the great Vaishnavas. Okay, I mean, what he does, I mean, not the way TV में हमें जो उनके बारे में पता चलता है, but if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, if you really want to know about him, correct, कि how that Dhruva Maharaj, how he actually went to him and he told him that mantra and he helped him get to see the God, or how he actually saved Prahlad Maharaj's mother, right, और किस तरह से उनको उन्होंने सिखाया, or so many other people, right? So basically that is what these Vaishnavas do, or so many other stories exist, right? I mean, there are so many stories of Vaishnavas who just randomly just keep on giving bhakti to people for no reason. So the point is ki that is one way to break this cycle. That is very, very easy way. In fact, people, by, as I said, right, कि बहुत ही कभी-कभी फालतू की चीजों में लोग बच जाते हैं. जैसे जो लोग होते हैं ना जो पायस चीजें करते हैं, जैसे गर्मी के समय जो लोग जाके पानी पिलाते हैं लोगों को, things like that. You are doing something like that, right, which has almost nothing to do with spirituality, more like humanity type of thing you are doing, right? But by mistake you end up giving water to somebody who's really a pious person, I mean, who's actually a Vaishnava or somebody, right? With that small sukriti you can get out. I mean, Krishna specifically talks about this category of people in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, even by doing something like this you can actually break the cycle, okay, by just making that kind of a small थिंग. सो जो लोग ऐसे जो सर्व करते हैं लोगों को, उनके बारे में भी कृष्णा बोलते हैं कि ऐसे लोगों के लिए भी किसी तरह से आगे बढ़ना पॉसिबल होता है. सो yeah, there are variety of ways actually to break this cycle, right? Otherwise, yeah, so but the free will exists with us, that for your original question, that whether we get association, not association, think about these people, right? The hippies and all those, so many people, they were not eligible, pretty much. Correct. Prabhupada said in a lecture, I mean, to these disciples, that you have no eligibility, like you have whatever eligibility you have is only because of me. And so yeah, yeah, it's possible to break it. I mean, people break it, but you need some mercy. I mean, we'll in the next next verse, actually Prabhupada writes this in the purport, that only by the mercy of Vaishnava can somebody get to know Krishna. There is no other way, pretty much. I mean, you cannot understand who's God without the mercy of Vaishnava. It is not possible. Okay, by your endeavor it is not possible. I can give it in writing. You cannot figure out. Okay, nobody has been able to figure out. So many people exist in this world, right? कितनों को समझता है, सबके लिए बड़ी complicated matter है ये, कि God कौन है, कैसे दिखते हैं, क्या करते हैं, कौन है God वगैरह वगैरह. What is my relationship with God? It's very complicated. Any questions? Okay, everybody is quiet. Is it because of whatever reason? I mean, I hope I'm audible, and I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Please
No
go ahead.
questions.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to make it one way, but let us see. I'm trying to struggle between physical and virtual class, so I might maybe ignore you for apparently, but I'm not trying to. So please ask question. I'll also ask question. Don't worry. In between.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what else here should I tell about this verse? So pretty much, I think I've told a lot. Yeah, there is a few things that I can tell. Like Baldev Vidyabhushan specifically talks a lot about Karma Mimamsa when he writes his own purport. He talks about um, and I think I don't need to explain Jatasya क्या होता है और अपरिहार्य क्या होता है. I think I explained that, so I will not get into that. बट बॉटम लाइन इस वर्ष का वही है कि जिसका जन्म हुआ है उसकी मृत्यु होगी और उसके बाद फिर से जन्म होगा. सो बस अपना कर्म करते रहो. मतलब why do you stop from doing the karma, and which is the karma for you right now is to kill these people, so let's do it, because it's all about karma. There is nothing else here, right? So this is about soul, but for people who actually are atheist while believing in soul, because they think that nothing else exists apart from soul, right? So yeah. But one thing to understand, like, while before leaving the topic of karma, one thing I can tell you, Bhagavad Gita talks about, and we have not touched karma, we have not reached karma yet. Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 important things, right? किसी को याद है कौन सी वो 5 important thing है जिन्होंने एग्जाम दिया था एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट चैप्टर का. तो बाय द वे जो नए लोग हैं उनको बता दूं मैं कि मतलब वी हैव टेस्ट आफ्टर एवरी चैप्टर, ओके, सो दैट यू आर अवेयर. Okay, so whatever we are studying is not for fun, ठीक है ना? There's going to be tests also and marks also, just to let you know. So for first chapter we did had tests, and yeah, we are in between second chapter. So now anybody who remembers what are those 5 topics that gets discussed in Bhagavad Gita?
Something like bhakti or something like that.
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि.
नहीं no.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, tell me.
It was Ishwar, Jiva, nature, I guess, and then time, and then karma.
Yeah, Ishwar, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's one of the toppers, right, in the exam. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So these are the 5 actual topics, like Ishwar, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Okay. We discussed about them in the first chapter when we were discussing this particular topic. But ये 5 चीजों पे ही खेलता रहता है भगवद गीता. Okay, mostly. But karma is one of them, and karma is a very important thing. I can tell you this much. I mean, karma is such a strong thing that only by karma you can get out of birth and death. Seriously telling you. Okay, this may sound like very weird, but only karma is capable, alone is capable of taking you out. That much powerful it is. But you have to treat it with a right understanding. If you understand karma, it can take you out. Like it is like this कि मतलब जैसे हम कभी-कभी किसी धाम में जाते हैं, जैसे वृंदावन गए लोग, people don't wear slippers, right? They just go barefoot. they think like that, right? But when they go barefoot, then what happens is कि कभी-कभी पैर में there are like कांटे घुस जाते हैं. Okay, and what is the solution of taking out that कांटा? The way to solution is that आप एक और कांटा तोड़ो और उससे उस कांटे को बाहर निकाल लो. Okay, that is the simplest way you can take out that kata. So that is how karma is. कि मतलब you are stuck in the karma, but you can actually take out of this cycle of karma by doing the right karma. I mean, like through karma you can take out, but that karma has to be understood. I'm like, you know, if you understand what is akarma, then you can actually use that to burn all these things. I mean, like one example of a karma that Pan Puran, as I explained that verse, right? So that verse talks about one sort of a karma. Yes, if you are भगवान का आप नाम ले रहे हो, you are doing devotional service, just by doing that much you can actually get out, and that is also a karma, a type of karma. But by doing that you can burn all your past karmic reactions and you can get out. So karma is a very powerful thing for sure, but we'll talk about it. I mean, after few verses it will start. अभी ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है, छोटा छोटा hint देना शुरू करेंगे in second chapter only. But beyond that he will talk in detail from the next chapter onwards. So okay, how long am I supposed to speak? What? नहीं, I'm just thinking because आपको भी बोलना है ना.
ज़्यादा नहीं है, छोटा सा ही है.
अच्छा, अपना छोटा ही है. Okay, ठीक है. Let me take next verse. We'll see how long it goes. ठीक है. Okay. Yeah. So let me recite once, and then everybody can recite with me. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakt. Go ahead. Okay. Let everybody can go ahead. No, go ahead. व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
अव्यक्तनिधनान्यैव
अव्यक्तनिधनान्यैव
तत्र का परिदेवना.
तत्र का परिदेवना.
Okay, I'll repeat once more. अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
अव्यक्तनिधनान्यैव
अव्यक्तनिधनान्यैव
तत्र का परिदेवना.
तत्र का परिदेवना.
Okay, anyone else wants to say reciting?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Hare Krishna.
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि अव्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wants to try?
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So let's look at the translation. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Okay. So here Krishna talks about another atheistic philosophy, by the way. It looks like theistic, right? ऐसा लगता है कि it is talking about soul only. There is nothing uncommon, कि उसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है, right? ऐसा कुछ लगता है. But I hope the meaning is clear, right? कि मतलब सब लोग unmanifest होते हैं पहले, फिर manifest होते हैं और फिर unmanifest हो जाते हैं. और इसमें फिर दुख होने की कोई बात नहीं है. That's what the verse says. But let's try to understand that. So yeah, this is basically so when I was talking about pranam mantras, right? कि pranam mantra होते हैं सबके. So for Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, who's the founder of ISKCON and also a great acharya in Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, for him the pranam mantra is like this. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So it says, it uses two words, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Okay, so it says ki पाश्चात्य देश ताड़ने, सो निर्विशेष लोगों को, शून्यवादी लोगों को, और जो पाश्चात्य देश में रहते थे उन सबको इन्होंने डिलीवर किया. ही डिलीवर्ड सच पीपल. ओके, ही एक्चुअली उन्होंने सो बेसिकली देयर इज अ वर्ड कॉल्ड शून्यवादी, राइट. व्हाट डज दिस शून्यवादी मीन्स? ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट दिस वर्स स्पेसिफिकली डील्स विद. ओके, दिस वर्स टॉक्स अबाउट कि ये जो शून्यवादी लोग हैं ना, उनको कैसे समझाएं. दिस इज व्हाट कृष्णा इज ट्राइंग टू डू हियर. ठीक है, व्हाट इज दिस voidism? So voidism is actually kind of part of Buddhism, frankly speaking. इसका उसका एक part है, मतलब one of the philosophies talk about voidism. Anybody knows what voidism is? नहीं, वो भी नहीं. ब्रह्म ज्योति भी वैदिक है.
कुछ भी नहीं है, मतलब एक तरीके से.
हाँ, exactly. There's nothing. Basically, there's nothing. I mean, like that you just completely gone. मतलब बस there is what is missing between you and that thing is the knowledge. ठीक है, some of them say like that. And once you understand that knowledge, then that's it. Boosh, everything is खत्म. मतलब so that's it. That's a void. खत्म हो गया सब कुछ. There is you may get birth, whatever happens, may not get birth, but after beyond a certain point, everything is finished. Okay, there is no higher truth. Like we say ki there is a Vaikuntha, you reach there, you play with God, you dance with God, all sort of things. No, nothing of that sort. Khatam ho gaya sab kuch. ठीक है, so that is the voidism. That is called voidism. ठीक है, so that is the philosophy that is that Krishna is trying to defeat here. Okay, does it make sense so far? Voidism is clear. So basically it is like this, right? कि जैसे कि अव्यक्त है, मतलब देयर इज अ मड हेयर, राइट. इसका कोई शेप नहीं है, एक मड है, और उसको लेके फिर आपने क्या किया, एक वॉल बना दी. सो इट बिकेम व्यक्त. अव्यक्त से व्यक्त हो गई. कितने साल तक वॉल रहेगी? कुछ टाइम के बाद वो वॉल टूट जाएगी. देयर बी रबल ओनली, करेक्ट. और फिर वो रबल से वापस से मड बन जाएगा, है ना, और उस मड से फिर से वॉल बनाएंगे, और ऐसा होता रहेगा, करेक्ट. या इतने बड़े बड़े स्काई स्केपर्स हैं, वट एवर इट इज. इनफैक्ट not just that, but scriptures talk about, and just to confuse you more, this is not totally unscriptural, right? Scriptures say that pradhan, I mean, अगर किसी ने श्रीमद् भागवतम में 2-3 कैंटो में आप देखोगे कि प्रधान is the main thing, which is like the unmanifested matter, which is exist. जब क्रिएशन होता है उसके पहले ही एक अनमैनिफेस्टेड चीज एग्जिस्ट करती है, और उससे सब कुछ मैनिफेस्ट होता है. All these gunas, everything get manifested, the mind, intelligence, everything get manifested from that pradhan. और फिर उस प्रधान से बाकी मटेरियल चीजें भी पैदा होती हैं, और फिर उसके बाद सारी चीजें होती हैं. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस हैपेंस बिकॉज ऑफ बीइंग अनमैनिफेस्टेड से फिर मैनिफेस्ट होती है, एंड देन फाइनली इट गेट्स अनमैनिफेस्टेड अगेन. आफ्टर द डिस्ट्रक्शन दे गो अनमैनिफेस्टेड अगेन. So this looks okay. I mean, this is slightly scriptural, somebody will say, but as I said, ki if you, there is an extreme of everything when it crosses the boundary of scriptures, right? अगर आप सिर्फ यही समझते हो कि अरे सब कुछ खत्म हो जाने वाला है, इसके बियॉन्ड कुछ नहीं बचेगा, मतलब अभी अनमैनिफेस्टेड है, फिर मैनिफेस्ट हुआ, और फिर सब कुछ अनमैनिफेस्ट हो जाएगा. इफ दिस इज व्हाट यू थिंक दैट देयर इज नो हायर ट्रूथ, देन यू आर क्रॉसिंग द बाउंड्री ऑफ स्क्रिप्चर्स, राइट? तब आप गलत डायरेक्शन में चले जाते हो. सो दैट इज the philosophy of voidism, right? Any questions so far? Okay, yeah. So
in the previous verse when they are saying that death and birth, and here we are saying that we are going in the
manifest unmanifest. हाँ, तो पिछले वर्ष में क्या था ना, कि पिछले वर्ष में ये था कि सोल एग्जिस्ट, ठीक है, इसीलिए आपकी मृत्यु होके जन्म होगा, क्योंकि सोल एग्जिस्ट करता है, राइट? और पर वो कर्म के हिसाब से एग्जिस्ट करता है, कर्म के हिसाब से डेथ और बर्थ होती है. तो ऐसी जगह पर आप अपना कर्म करो, उनको अपना कर्म करने दो. हाउ डज इट मैटर? उनकी डेथ होगी, फिर से बर्थ होगी. दैट इज व्हाट कृष्णा एक्सप्लेन्स इन दिस वर्थ. व्हाट ही सेज इज कि अगर आप मैनिफेस्ट होके अनमैनिफेस्ट हो रहे हो, फिर से मैनिफेस्ट हो रहे हो, मतलब काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, कि मतलब आप एक पॉइंट आएगा जब आप बिल्कुल ही अनमैनिफेस्ट हो जाओगे, ठीक है ना? अब अगर सब कुछ ऐसा ही होने वाला है, तो फिर क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मतलब तो फिर क्या प्रॉब्लम है? दैट्स व्हाट कृष्णा इज सेइंग. सो बेसिकली हाउ कृष्णा डिफीट्स इज कि you assume that you are just body, ये बॉडी खत्म हो गई, सब कुछ खत्म हो गया. That's what people say, right? कि लाइट बंद हो जाएगी जैसे कि, kind of things, right? There's nothing, it's a void. Beyond that there is nothing exists. If that is the case, then also there is no problem, because जिसको आप अपना समझते थे ना, ये सारी इन लोगों को, ये सब बॉडी थे, right? और इनके जो मैटर्स है ना, जो भी अर्थ, एयर, वाटर, फायर, ईथर, all of this will still exist in this world in a unmanifested form. So nothing is lost that way, अगर हम इस तरह से समझे इसको. बिकॉज आपकी डेथ के बाद वापस से वो सारा कुछ मैटर में मिल जाएगा, करेक्ट? तो आपका कुछ लॉस नहीं हो रहा है फिर भी, देयर इज नथिंग टू वरी इवन देन. सो व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम इन फाइटिंग? दैट्स व्हाट कृष्णा इज सेइंग, राइट? सो because whatever constitutes, right, all the chemicals will still exist, so nothing is lost, correct? And that's how Krishna defeats this philosophy. Prabhupada writes somewhere that this is like law of conservation of energy, right? कि मतलब जो भी है कुछ create और destroy तो नहीं हो रहा है, just manifest था फिर unmanifest हो गया and things like that. So even in, if you believe in voidism, then also there is no problem, then also fight Arjuna. This is the logic he's giving. Does it make sense to everyone?
No, I didn't get this actually. I didn't
Okay.
understand.
Okay, so let me retry. Okay,
Yeah.
so क्या हुआ कि मतलब आपके अगर आप बोलो कि इस लाइफ के बाद कुछ भी नहीं है, ठीक है, आपकी ये लाइफ है, आपकी डेथ के बाद सब खत्म हो जाएगा, पर कुछ सोल वोल जैसा कोई कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है, ठीक है? अभी तक आपको जो आपको जो फीलिंग्स आ रही हैं, जो इमोशंस हैं, जो कॉन्शियसनेस है, ये इस बॉडी के कारण है. बॉडी खत्म हो गई, सब कुछ खत्म हो गया. इफ दिस इज व्हाट यू बिलीव इन, okay, if that is the case, because you are right now manifest but you will become unmanifested, तो क्या होगा ना, ये जो 5 एलिमेंट्स हैं आपके, अर्थ, एयर, फायर, वाटर, ये सारे वापस से वाटर में चला जाएगा, अर्थ में चली जाएगी. दैट्स व्हाट विल हैपन, राइट? बिकॉज यू विल बर्न दिस बॉडी और व्हाटएवर विल डू, but the matter will be there, right? There's nothing is destroyed that way in this world, right? If you think like that, pure material concept, even then there is nothing to worry, because nothing is lost. क्योंकि केमिकल्स तो फिर भी हैं, तो फिर आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है इन लोगों को मारने में? बिकॉज ये जो अपनी बॉडी में दिख रहे हैं, ये बाद में जाके केमिकल में बन जाएंगे, एंड दैट इज स्टिल इट्स अ केमिकल और व्हाटएवर इट इज, राइट? देयर इज नो लाइफ रियली देन, बिकॉज आपकी डेथ के बाद सब खत्म होने वाला है. देयर इज नथिंग व्हिच इज इटर्नल एज सोल, एंड इट इज गोइंग टू डाई, सो इट्स ओके. व्हाट इज द बिग डील? देन आल्सो फाइट.
Correct. Got
Right?
it.
So
Yeah.
he's talking about different philosophies and trying to break them one by one, and still diverting the direction again and again to fight. ठीक है ना?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I don't think I'll be able to go further than this. So what I will do is I will any questions so far on anything? It's okay, right? Whatever we discussed.
Yes. Yes, I'm
Okay.
okay.
Okay, great. So what I will do is I will give it to Rajiv Prabhu, who's supposed to talk about Rupa Goswami. Let me just download his slides. There'll be some kind of hiccup in this slide business. Let me unproject and project and all sort of things. Okay, yeah, I'll have to download the slide. Just a second, huh? Just doing that. बंद कर बच्चों को बोल दो कि okay, just a second. This is like a whatever 1 minute break before we resume. So I'm just projecting the slides, and then we will go ahead. We'll see whatever we can do. Okay, just a second. I hope it was useful, right? Whatever we discussed so far.
Yeah, surely.
Yes, very much.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So. No. All right. Thank you.
We'll start with Hare Krishna. We'll start with the Srila Rupa Goswami Pranam Mantra. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ye Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Savapadat Padakantikam. I once again I will say like I really seek blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all devotees, because I don't think I'm really qualified and eligible to speak about Srila Rupa Goswami, and really forgive me for any mistakes and using an appropriate word. I was just reading or listening lectures, and while preparing for this uh, presentation, I was just thinking like, yes, like even I'm not qualified, and I don't think I have that ability to understand this complete philosophy. Then what is the advantage of reading and presenting this session? So during, I mean, I was just thinking, and I got one answer in one of lecture, and I thought like maybe that was the answer. Maybe Niranji, Prabhuji can correct me. Just by reading, listening, and discussing, this is also kind of discussion. It purifies us. So definitely, I think it is a good opportunity for me to read and learn about Srila Rupa Goswami. I know that I'm really not capable enough to understand the philosophy what he has written, but still I learned a lot of things, and it helped me in purifying myself. And I hope with the blessings of all devotees, I will learn. So in last week session, we discussed about the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. We discussed about the qualities of Goswamis, and we understood like if someone wants to really become fully Krishna consciousness, then it is really very important to understand the life of six Goswamis. कि उन्होंने वो कैसे अपने आप को कृष्ण भक्ति में इन्वॉल्व रखते थे, और किस तरह का जीवन जीते थे, किस तरह अपने आप को डिटैच रखते थे। और उन्होंने जो लिखा है दैट इज बेसिकली बिकॉज उनके पास एक स्पेशल विजन था, और उन्होंने उन पास टाइम्स को फील किया, देखा, और उन्होंने लिखा। तो डेफिनेटली उन्होंने जो लिखा उसमें बहुत कुछ लर्निंग है, सीखने के लिए। सो डेफिनेटली हमें सिक्स गोस्वामी जी के जीवन को फॉलो करना चाहिए, उससे हमें बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा। देन वी डिस्कस अबाउट द अर्ली लाइफ ऑफ श्रीला रूपा गोस्वामी, जहाँ पे वो एक बहुत हाई क्लास सारस्वत ब्राह्मण फैमिली से बिलोंग करते थे, एंड वो शुरू से ही काफी ज्यादा धार्मिक थे। एंड तीनों भाई बहुत ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड थे, वेरी इंटेलिजेंट थे, इसीलिए वहाँ के जो नवाब थे, क्रूअल नवाब बंगाल के नवाब हुसैन शाह, उनकी निगाह उन पे पड़ती है। एंड डेफिनेटली जो बेस्ट होता है उसको हर आदमी अपनी तरफ लेना चाहता है, इसीलिए श्रीला रूपा गोस्वामी और सनातन गोस्वामी और उनके भाई को उन्होंने अपने मिनिस्ट्री उसमें इन्वॉल्व किया। डेफिनेटली इतना सब कुछ मिलने के बाद भी वो इतने खुश नहीं थे, एंड ही वॉज प्रेइंग हार्ड। एंड यहाँ पे मैंने जब इसको समझा तो मैंने डेफिनेटली आई ट्राइड कंपेयरिंग क्रूअल रूलर नवाब हुसैन शाह एज ए माई प्रॉब्लम्स इन माई लाइफ, कि वो कैसे मुझे रोकती हैं। तो इसी तरह डेफिनेटली ही वॉज अ ऑब्स्टिकल फॉर श्रीला रूपा गोस्वामी, बट स्टिल वो अपना काम अच्छे से कर रहे थे। एंड उनको लॉर्ड चैतन्य महाप्रभु को जब उन्होंने लेटर लिखा तो उनसे उनको एक बड़ा क्रिप्टिक रिप्लाई मिला कि जिस तरह मतलब एक एक लेडी जो अपने हस्बैंड के साथ रहती है लेकिन वो किसी और से प्यार करती है, बट उसके पति को पता न चले, इसलिए वो पूरे मन से अपने पति की सेवा करती है। तो इनडायरेक्टली भगवान ने मैसेज दिया कि आप कृष्ण भक्ति मन से करते चले जाओ, बाकी ऊपर का काम आप करते रहो अच्छे से। फिर उसके बाद रामकेली जहाँ पे वो रहते थे उसमें भी एक मैसेज ये था कि हम अपने घर को भी एक रामकेली की तरह समझ सकते हैं, जिस तरह उन्होंने अपनी प्रॉपर्टी पे राधा कुंड, श्याम कुंड और टेम्पल्स बनाए, भगवान की डीटी स्थापित करी, और वहाँ पे पूरा टाइम वो भागवतम और शास्त्रों के डिस्कशन में निकालते थे। उसी तरह हम भी अपने घर को यूज कर सकते हैं। और यही रामकेली पे चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो कि एक्चुअली पूरी जा रहे थे, बट उन्होंने डिफरेंट रूट लेकर रामकेली आए, एंड वहां पे जिस तरीके से सरेंडर श्रीला रूपा गोस्वामी ने किया और उनके भाई ने किया और सनातन गोस्वामी ने किया, वो भी एक तरह की लर्निंग है। मुंह में घास का तिनका रख के दंडवत करना, एंड डेफिनेटली जस्ट नॉट ओनली सरेंडर टू लॉर्ड, बट ही हैज आल्सो सीक ब्लेसिंग्स फ्रॉम नित्यानंद प्रभु एंड ऑल डिवोटीज। अब भगवान ने फिर लॉर्ड चैतन्य ने भी कहा कि सब डिवोटीज से बोला कि इनको ब्लेसिंग्स करो, सो दैट दे कैन प्यूरिफाई। तो
और अगेन यहाँ पे श्रील रूप गोस्वामी अपने आप में ऑलरेडी बहुत बड़े स्कॉलर थे एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, स्टिल उनकी जो हम्बलनेस है वो यहाँ से हमें सीखने को मिलती है। तो लास्ट टाइम हमने यहाँ तक डिस्कस किया था। इसके बाद जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु के साथ बेसिकली रूप गोस्वामी जाना चाहते थे, बट ही सेड यू नो, हाँ, तो बेसिकली जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु थे तो ही बेसिकली वांटेड टू गो वृंदावन, बट एज पर द एडवाइस फ्रॉम Sanatan Goswami and Sri Rupa Goswami, he changed his route. So he again went back to Puri, and from there, with a few devotees, he traveled to Vrindavan. In between, Sri Rupa Goswami ने already अपना mind बना लिया था कि उनको यहाँ से जाना है, एंड उन्होंने और उनके जो छोटे भाई थे अनुपम, उन्होंने डिसाइड कर लिया था, उन्होंने नवाभूषण शाह का जो जॉब था वो भी छोड़ दिया था, एंड उसके बाद वो वहां से चले गए। और बिकॉज जो सनातन गोस्वामी थे वो बड़ी पोस्ट पे थे, सो ही वाज नॉट इन पोजीशन टू लीव दैट वर्क। उन्होंने कहा कि मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ। और यहाँ पे एक बहुत अच्छी बात भी थी कि उन्होंने जिस तरह से अपना, जब कोई भी आदमी अपनी लाइफ में स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट के लिए जब घर छोड़ता है और वो अपनी वेल्थ को जब वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करता है, तो उसका भी एक बहुत बड़ा अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है जो मैं नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में प्रेजेंट करूंगा। तो यहाँ से श्रील रूप गोस्वामी बेसिकली वृंदावन की तरफ चले, बट रास्ते में प्रयाग में, बिकॉज हुआ यह कि जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु थे वो वृंदावन से वापस लौट के प्रयाग आ गए। तो इस दौरान इनकी मुलाकात, जब उन्होंने देखा प्रयाग में कि यहाँ पे बहुत डिवोटीज हैं, कुछ कीर्तन चल रहा है, तो वो उन्होंने देखा तो वो दूर से खड़े रहे। एंड इसमें एक बहुत अच्छी बात लिखी हुई थी, मतलब चैतन्य चरितामृत में एक बहुत डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन है कि क्या बात हुई। और उसमें ऐसी एक बात थी कि वो गए दोनों भाई एकदम से वापस ऐसे घास मुंह में रख के नीचे लेट गए और बार बार उठ के उनको दंडवत प्रणाम कर रहे एंड सीकिंग फॉर ब्लेसिंग्स। एंड भगवान इतने खुश हुए, उन्होंने मतलब उनके सिर पे पांव रखा, एंड विद दैट फीलिंग उन्होंने जो प्रणाम मंत्र है ये वाला, नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णा कृष्णाय चैतन्य नाम गुरुवे तिन्वे नमो,
नामने गौरा तुषे नमः।
Okay. Namne Gaura Tuishe Nama. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Supreme Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other अवतारा, even Krishna himself. तो यहाँ पे उन्होंने बहुत बड़ी बात कही कि कृष्ण भगवान से भी बढ़ गए, because he is bestowing freely what no one else can ever has ever given, which is pure love of Krishna. तो और यहाँ पे इसको जब उन्होंने उनको ये उनकी मीटिंग विद महाप्रभु एट प्रयाग को एक्चुअली कई लेक्चर्स में कृष्ण भगवान और अर्जुन के जो कुरुक्षेत्र के संवाद है उससे भी कंपेयर किया गया है। जिस तरह कृष्ण भगवान ने अर्जुन को भगवत गीता का ज्ञान दिया था, उसी तरह श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने श्रील रूप गोस्वामी को यहाँ पे भक्ति की जो साइंस ऑफ डिवोशनल सर्विस उसका ज्ञान 10 दिन तक यहाँ पे एक जो घाट था दशमेधा घाट, वहां पे उन्होंने उनको दिया, दोनों भाई को, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी और अनुपम जी को। और उनको बेसिकली ही मेनली टॉक्ड अबाउट साइंस ऑफ डिवोशन। यहाँ पे श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने बोला था कि द ओशन ऑफ ट्रांसेंडेंटल मेलोज ऑफ डिवोशनल सर्विस इज सो लार्ज कि भक्ति जो सर्विस इज इट इज सो लार्ज दैट नो वन कैन एस्टिमेट इट्स लेंथ एंड ब्रेथ। However, just to help you to taste it, I am describing one of drop. तो भगवान ने बोला कि मैं पूरा नहीं समझा सकता, मैं सिर्फ तुम्हें एक छोटा सा बूंद का टेस्ट समझाऊंगा, एंड इसको समझ के यू हैव टू एक्सपेंड इट। और यहाँ पे भगवान ने ये बेसिकली ये बहुत जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु की टीचिंग्स है दैट कैन बी फाइंड इन टीचिंग्स ऑफ चैतन्य महाप्रभु, वो भी एक बुक है। एंड यहाँ पे चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने उनको भक्ति लता, जो थोड़ी देर पहले प्रभु जी बता रहे थे कि जब हमारे जो मन में भक्ति का जो बीज डेवलप होता है उसको एक अच्छे मालिक की तरह हमें पानी देकर सींचना चाहिए, बिकॉज ये जो लता है अगर सही तरीके से बढ़ती है तो ये इट टचेस टू द गोलोक वृंदावन, और उससे जो कृष्ण प्रेम हमें जो प्राप्त होता है। बट अगर इसमें यहाँ पे जो खरपतवार जब बोलते हैं राइट, जो वीड्स, जो उसके बारे में भी डिस्क्राइब किया गया कि अगर ये पानी सही तरीके से नहीं डाला गया तो जो हमारी मेटेरियलिस्टिक डिजायर है वो इतनी बड़ी हो जाती है कि हमारी जो भक्ति है वो नहीं बढ़ पाती। सो बहुत अच्छे से इसमें ये चीज डिस्क्राइब्ड है, और आई थिंक मे बी प्रभु जी इस पे एक बहुत बड़ा लेक्चर इसमें प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही डेप्थ में था। ऐसे इसमें भूल गया।
Anybody remembers that we gave a lecture on this?
मेरे को तो याद
रस तत्व में
हाँ
रस रस
नहीं अबाउट भक्ति लता बीज
हाँ डिस्कशन किया था पहले।
हाँ I have slides as a proof of any if you want.
तो
प्रभु जी हमारे लिए फिर से कर दीजिएगा।
हाँ ऐसा लग रहा है सबके लिए फिर से करेंगे।
हाँ बेसिकली ये एक बहुत बड़ा यू नो जो उन्होंने बताया भक्ति के बारे में यहाँ पे बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। और इसके तो जो भगवान जो बेसिकली चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने यहाँ बताया, तो ऑलमोस्ट उसके 28 साल बाद श्रील रूप गोस्वामी ने इस पे जो बुक लिखी थी भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु, और उसका जो ट्रांसलेशन किया बाद में श्रील प्रभुपाद ने, मतलब इसमें भी इतना गैप है कि 28 साल बाद इसकी बुक कंप्लीट हुई। और उसके बाद भी आई थिंक डिवोटीज शायद इतना नहीं जानते थे। जब प्रभुपाद आए उन्होंने इसकी अगेन समरी लिखी, द नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन, देन उसके बाद हम लोगों को पढ़ने के लिए और समझने के लिए मिली है। सो तो यहाँ पे एक और बड़ी बात थी, ये जो उनकी मीटिंग विद महाप्रभु एट प्रयाग, यहाँ पे उन्होंने को 4 इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए मेन, कि अनकवर, उन्होंने बोला कि आप वृंदावन जाइए, वृंदावन जाके अनकवर द श्री कृष्णास लॉस्ट पास टाइम प्लेसेस, जहाँ पे उनके पुराने जो पास टाइम थे उनको ढूंढिए, इंस्टॉल डीटीज एंड स्टार्ट पूजा, उन डीटीज को निकालिए, उनकी पूजा स्टार्ट कीजिए, राइट भक्ति शास्त्रास एंड प्रोवोकेट द रूल्स ऑफ भक्ति योगा। तो ये 4 उन्होंने उनको मेन इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए। और इसके बाद भी श्री रूप गोस्वामी उनको छोड़ना नहीं चाहते थे, तो उनके पीछे पीछे वाराणसी तक गए। ठीक है, फिर वो उनका मन ही नहीं था उनको छोड़ने का, तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने फिर बोला नहीं, आप पहले वृंदावन जाइए, फिर वापस लौट के पूरी आ जाना। तो उनके इंस्ट्रक्शंस पे वो फिर वो वहां पे गए वृंदावन जाके उन्होंने बेसिकली वहां पे वो सुबुद्धि राय जी से मिले, एंड ही शोड हिम ऑल यू नो जो 12 फॉरेस्ट थे वहां पे, तो उन्होंने एक थोड़ा टाइम वहां पे बिताया। एंड उसके बाद वो वापस वृंदावन से पुरी की तरफ चल दिए। एंड व्हेन ही वाज गोइंग इन बिटवीन ऑन द वे टू वृंदावन, उनके भाई जो थे, ही लेफ्ट हिज बॉडी, एंड वहां पे रास्ते में ही स्टार्टेड राइटिंग ड्रामास। तो उन्होंने जो एक्सपीरियंस किया वृंदावन में, तो उन्होंने बेसिकली एक तो वृंदावन लीला और एक मथुरा लीला, तो जो कृष्ण भगवान की जो पास टाइम्स उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस किया, ही स्टार्टेड राइटिंग ड्रामा ऑन इट। उन्होंने कहा कि ड्रामा इज द बेस्ट वे टू टीच लेसन्स। तो इसमें जब वो थे, उनको इनफैक्ट रास्ते में जो स्वप्न भी आया, जिसमें सत्यभामा जी इन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, यू राइट 2 डिफरेंट बुक्स, बिकॉज कृष्ण भगवान की वृंदावन लीला डिफरेंट है और मथुरा लीला डिफरेंट है। वृंदावन मोर टॉक्स अबाउट माधुर्य रस, एंड जो मथुरा लीला इट मोर टॉक्स अबाउट द ऐश्वर्या रस। तो उनके इंस्ट्रक्शंस पे ही स्टार्टेड राइटिंग 2 डिफरेंट ड्रामास। और उन ड्रामा जो बुक्स हैं वो भी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट ड्रामा बुक्स मानी जाती हैं। उनका नाम है विदागा माधव एंड ललिता माधवा, विदग्ध माधवा एंड ललिता माधवा। देन यहाँ से व्हेन ही रीच्ड पुरी, तो पुरी पहुंचने के बाद ही बेसिकली इनिशियली स्टेड एट भक्ति हरिदास ठाकुर, he stayed with हरिदास ठाकुर, एंड वहाँ पे the point is like he didn't enter in पुरी टेम्पल, he didn't find himself so qualified, he said कि मैं इतना योग्य नहीं हूँ कि पुरी टेम्पल में जाऊँ, और वो एंटर ही नहीं हुए। एंड दैट इज वेयर मेरे दिमाग में आई थिंक मेरे क्वेश्चन प्रभु जी से मेरा रहेगा कि वो एंटर नहीं हुए, और वो फिर उनको चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने एक ऐसी जगह रखा जहां से वो एटलीस्ट टेम्पल का ऊपर चक्र देख पाते थे। एवरी डे चैतन्य महाप्रभु टेम्पल जाते थे और प्रसाद उनके लिए लेकर आते थे। सो दैट वाज द वन थिंग। और यहाँ पे एक और बात थी, यहाँ ऑलमोस्ट 10 मंथ तक रहे वो, ऑलमोस्ट 10 मंथ तक यहाँ पे रहे। एंड अगेन ही लर्न लॉट ऑफ न्यू थिंग्स विच वाज पार्ट ऑफ द डिस्कशन, ही गॉट लॉट ऑफ एक्सट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम शास्त्रा। एक और यहाँ पे जो एक थी जगह पर रथ यात्रा चल रही थी, एंड चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने एक वर्स ही वाज सिंगिंग एज इफ एक लड़का लड़की आपस में बात करते हैं। एंड उसको अगर मैं आई वाज नॉट इन पोजीशन टू से, बट वो ऐसा लग रहा था कि एक लड़का लड़की आपस में बात कर रहे हैं। उसको कोई भी सुनेगा तो लगेगा कि ओके कोई एक मुंडेन काइंड ऑफ डिस्कशन या वर्स है। बट जब श्री रूप गोस्वामी ने उनको सुना, सुनने के बाद नेक्स्ट डे वो अपने जब वो हट पे गए, तो उन्होंने उनको अपने एक उस पे जो तालपत्र पे लिखा और ऊपर सुखा दिया। एंड देन जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु आए वापस वहां आए, तो उन्होंने देखा कि कुछ रखा हुआ है, उन्होंने उसको पढ़ा, एंड देन ही वाज सो हैप्पी। एंड वो आई थिंक हरिदास ठाकुर से ही बात कर रहे थे, उन्होंने कहा कि हाउ कैन रूपा गोस्वामी अंडरस्टैंड माय हार्ट्स फीलिंग।
बोले कि मैंने जो बोला था दैट वाज रियली नोबडी कैन अंडरस्टैंड बट द वे, तो उन्होंने एक्चुअली उसको डिफरेंट वे में डिस्क्राइब किया और उन्होंने उसको एज ए वो समझ गया कि वो एक क्या फीलिंग है। उन्होंने डिस्क्राइब किया जब वो आए तो उन्होंने हरिदास ठाकुर ने बोला कि सर इट इज ऑल बिकॉज यू एम्पावर्ड हिम, आपने उनको एम्पावर किया है। एंड देन जब वो श्री रूप गोस्वामी आए तो उन्होंने बोला कि मैंने पढ़ा, एंड देन उन्होंने उनको प्यार से ऐसे थप्पड़ मारा। तुम ऐसा कैसे समझ जाते हो? I mean, बड़ा मुझे बड़ा अच्छा सा लगा। तो उसके बाद वहां से बेसिकली वो वापस उनको बोला कि नाउ यू गो बैक टू वृंदावन और वापस जो रिमेनिंग काम है उसको कंप्लीट कीजिए। देन ही रिटर्न बैक टू वृंदावन। वृंदावन में जाके उन्होंने, मैं इसको बहुत जल्दी कंप्लीट कर रहा हूँ, जो वृंदा देवी की जो डीटीज हैं जो उनको ब्रह्मा कुंड में से पता किया, गोविंद देव जी की जो डीटीज हैं जिनका हमें सबको पता है पास टाइम, उनको भी वहां से निकाला। जो जैसे आपको पता है कि वो जब बैठे हुए थे ही वॉज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड एनीथिंग, तो एक छोटा सा बच्चा उनके पास आया, उन्होंने बोला कि पास में एक टीला है, वहां पे एक गाय रोजीना आके दूध देती है एंड वो उसमें कंज्यूम हो जाता है एंड देयर इज डेफिनेटली समथिंग। तो वो वहां पे गए, उन्होंने देखा तो उनको लगा हाँ यहाँ पे, तो डीटीज निकाली, फिर उनकी स्थापना करी एंड देन वहां पे उन्होंने बहुत बड़ा टेम्पल बनवाया विद द हेल्प ऑफ मान सिंह एंड वो तो इस तरह उन्होंने वहां पे गोविंद देव जी की डीटी, और फिर वहां पे सारे गोस्वामी जी ने उनको वृंदावन में ज्वाइन किया। एंड देन the second last slide is about the learnings from the pastimes of Srila Rupa Goswami. The one is about Kamayana story. I mean, this is about like खीर। इसमें एक बार कि कृष्ण जो चैतन्य जो श्रील रूप गोस्वामी और सनातन गोस्वामी अपने राइटिंग वर्क में इतने इन्वॉल्व थे, दे फॉरगॉट टू ईट। तो क्या हुआ कि जब एक छोटी सी लड़की आई और अपने साथ चावल और जो दूध वगैरह लेकर आई, मुझे एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं वो मतलब खीर बनी लाए थे या उन्होंने बनाई, लेकिन वो आई और वो बनाई उन्होंने, और उसके बाद जब उन्होंने उनको दिया सनातन गोस्वामी को, सनातन गोस्वामी जैसे मुंह रखा बोला कि ये तुमने बनाई है? बोले नहीं नहीं, ऐसे आई थी। तो बोले कि अरे, बोले कि क्या कर रहे हो? हम भगवान की सेवा करने के लिए आए हैं, भगवान से सेवा कराने के लिए नहीं आए। सो दैट इज, एंड ही वाज क्राइंग, और खीर इतनी टेस्टी थी, वो खा भी रहे थे और रो भी रहे थे। एंड ही सेड लाइक वी शुड नॉट थिंक व्हाट गॉड कैन डू फॉर अस। इसमें जो एक बड़ी लर्निंग थी, रादर वी शुड मेडिटेट ऑन व्हाट वी कैन डू फॉर द गॉड। सो ये एक लर्निंग थी। दूसरा वेल्थ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का उनका लाइफ का था कि दिस इज बेसिकली अ लर्निंग फॉर दोज हु रियली लुकिंग फॉर द स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट। अभी आपको सब कुछ छोड़ के जाना है, नाउ हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट वेल्थ। तो जो श्रील रूप गोस्वामी थे, जब नवाब हुसैन शाह के जॉब को छोड़ के जा रहे थे, दैट टाइम ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इज 50% ऑफ वेल्थ टू द ऑल वैष्णव ब्राह्मणास, ऑल ब्राह्मणास दोज हु आर इन द सर्विस ऑफ लॉर्ड, and remaining जो था उसमें 25% for our relatives and 25% for the future emergency problem। तो उन्होंने वहीं के किसी लोकल बैंक में या जो भी दो विलेजर्स हैं उनको वहां पे रखा दिया था। उसमें से वो पैसा फिर बाद में सनातन गोस्वामी के काम भी आया था जेल से छूटने में। तो दिस इज अ लर्निंग अबाउट द वेल्थ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। देन थर्ड इज बेसिकली ऑफेंस टू वैष्णव। तो श्रील रूप गोस्वामी जो अपने आप में इतने बड़े और स्कॉलर थे, बड़े वैष्णव थे, उन्होंने एक बार क्या हुआ कि ही वॉज मेडिटेटिंग एंड ड्यूरिंग मेडिटेशन ही वॉज एक्चुअली ऑब्जर्विंग वन ऑफ पास टाइम। तो उसमें सारी गोपीज वर श्रृंगार कर रही थी राधा रानी का। और अब जो मैंने समझा उसमें कि जैसे कि ऐसे बैठी हुई हैं और जब वो श्रृंगार कर रही हैं तो इधर से कृष्ण भगवान आए, कृष्ण भगवान को सिर्फ गोपीज देख सकती थी बट राधा रानी नहीं देख सकती थी। पर जैसे ही श्रृंगार खत्म हुआ उसके बाद उन्होंने उनके सामने मिरर रखा, मिरर रखते ही मिरर में कृष्ण भगवान की इमेज दिखी, तो देखते ही राधा रानी शर्मा के हंसी, और शर्मा के ना फेस यूं ऐसा किया तो सारी गोपीज हंसी। हंसते ही उसी वक्त श्री रूप गोस्वामी को थोड़ी सी हंसी आ गई, और उसी वक्त ऐसा हुआ कि उनके सामने एक डिवोटी आए थे उनसे मिलने। उनकी बॉडी में शायद थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम था, किसी तरह का कुछ था, एंड उनको हंसते हुए देख के उनको मन में थोड़ा सा ऑफेंस फील हुआ एंड वो चले गए। एंड उसके बाद उनका जो स्पेशल विजन था वो भी टूट गया, एंड देन ही वाज नॉट एबल टू फोकस ऑन चैंटिंग। देन ही अंडरस्टूड कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुआ है, एंड देन ही इनवाइटेड ऑल वैष्णवस, एंड देखा कि एक वैष्णव नहीं आया, उनसे जाके पूछा, देन ही रियलाइज कि ऐसा हुआ है, देन उनसे माफी मांगी। So this basically this pastime gives like वैष्णव अपराध is the one of the main thing, आपको इससे बचना है। देन एक और जो उसमें था, टेर कदम का जो एक पेड़ है वृंदावन में नंदग्राम में, दैट इज बेसिकली एज पर द लेक्चर्स एंड जो उसमें देखा, ये वो पेड़ था जहाँ पे श्री कृष्ण भगवान बैठ के सारी गायों को बुलाया करते थे। तो टेर मतलब कॉल, तो गायों को बुलाते थे वहां पे। और वहीं पे एक्चुअल में श्री रूप गोस्वामी की भजन कुटीर भी है, ठीक है। तो वो जब हम बैठ के लिखा करते थे पास्ट टाइम्स के बारे में, तो जब वो राधा कृष्ण के क्या बोलते हैं उनको, जब बिछुड़ जाते हैं, राइट, उसके बारे में लिखते थे तो उनके पत्ते गिर जाते थे। एंड व्हेन ही वाज राइटिंग अबाउट उनको वापस मिलने का, तो वापस फूल आ जाते थे उस पर। तो इसमें एक और बात है कि एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटी, प्योर डिवोटी मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस इन लाइफ। की एक ट्री जैसे में एक इतनी कॉन्शियसनेस आ सकती है, इतना कि वो फील कर सकता है कि वो क्या लिख रहा है। दैट इज वन थिंग. And the last learning which I understood, definitely there are a lot of learnings, how one should work in office. जो नवाब हुसैन शाह के यहाँ जिस तरह उन्होंने काम किया, definitely we can compare with the Kali-yuga where we are working and you have a lot of challenges, but those problems stops us in our bhakti one. But the way he balanced, the way he excelled in his work, the way he made his house as a temple, definitely it's a great learning for ourselves. So this is a learning. And as I said, like we all are Rupanugas, and because she Rupa Goswami ji has written a lot of books which is a basis for this Krishna consciousness movement. So this is basically a list of all important books. Like one of book is Bhakti Rasamra Sindhu. So this list I have kept it in case if someone likes. These are really very good books which really helps in improving our bhakti. So Bhakti Rasamra Sindhu is one of the book which is ocean of nectar of divine love. Bhakti Rasamra Sindhu can be considered one of the most important book in Gaudiya Vaishnava. It elaborately describes bhakti from its lower stage. So then second book is which is a continuation of series बोल सकते उज्ज्वला नीलामणि, then लघु भागवत mantra, then Vidaga Madhava Larita Madhava about the dramas of Leelas about the Vrindavan and Mathura, then Satyamala. Then other books are like Mathura Mahatmaya, Uddhava, Sandesha, Hamsa, Dutam, Shri Krishna, Janmatithi, Vidhi. So this book is basically gives about the process of worship of deity of Krishna during the festival of Janmashtami. तो overall अगर हमें भक्ति में really कुछ सीखना है, so these are the basis of our Krishna consciousness. We can learn lot of things.
Yeah, but to just we can intersect. Basically, we should not, I mean, right now get into any of these books.
Yeah.
Because these are very, very advanced ones. If at all if we are interested in reading anything from Rupa Goswami, तो जो उनका उपदेशामृत है, Nectar of Instruction,
Okay.
only 8 verses of that is what we should read.
Okay.
Nothing beyond that. But only 8 verses are good enough to actually make us a good Vaishnava, and how we should deal with Vaishnavas, and what we should avoid and what we should do, and how should we progress in our in Vaishnavism. Okay, that is like the sum and substance of a lot of philosophy. So Updeshamrita, and that is good enough. I mean, like beyond that, right now these are like very, very advanced books. Like these dramas and all those, they are very, very advanced ones. Will not be able to digest.
Okay, thank you.
Just
sure. मैं just add कर दिया सारा list. मुझे लगा कि this is something.
This is what it is, but.
So this is the basically final slide which I already mentioned about the Prabhupada preparing himself at Radha Damodar temple. So Prabhupada jab when he was planning to go US to to spread the message of Krishna consciousness, he stayed almost 6 years in Vrindavan at the Radha Damodar temple, and he worshipped. He was seeking blessings from Sri Rupa Goswami, and he wrote his first translation of first Bhagavatam canto as well. So I think we should all seek blessings from Sri Rupa Goswami, and Jai Sri Rupa Goswami.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now I don't know. Basically, I know it's very late. It's a long class, but yeah. So the only thing else remaining, I think people have left, not left. I don't know. I see some less people. Then yeah, then what it was. But we'll do some small kirtan. If anybody wants to drop out, they can. If they don't want to drop out, they'll get to hear some nice kirtan. That's what we'll be doing. Otherwise, yeah, we are So yeah, we start with the Kirtan.
हाँ इस तरफ करना
क्लास के बाद
इसको इस तरफ करना। नहीं इधर का तो सब
लैपटॉप में हुआ था
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादिनी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादिनी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य रसविंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य रसविंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jayo Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Jayo Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Jaya Gauraki Sai, Jaya Gauraki Sai, Gauraki Sai, Jaya Gauraki Sai, Jaya Gauraki Sai, Gauraki Sai, Gauraki Sai, Jaya Gauraki Sai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jayo Jayo Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मां की जय, जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, जय श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंद की जय।
So just some word, I think for those who are still remaining, I think couple of folks are still remaining, is like, now is the time when we need prasad. And yeah, and I would recommend that, for people who have not joined, please offer to DTs, if not DTs, तो एटलीस्ट आप अपनी फोटो भगवान की अगर आपके पास है तो उसके सामने, भगवान के सामने आप ऑफर कर सकते हैं वो, एंड देन यू शुड टेक द प्रसाद. That's all I can suggest. Right? I know being virtual, that's all we can do here. But let's do the right thing.
फोटो भेज देंगे
हाँ, फोटो हम भेज देंगे आपको. The other thing, the other small thing is next week there will no, I'll not have the class because there is a Gita Sar which is happening, and I am also talking there, and it will start I think on Saturday onwards. So next week we'll not have it, the class. My suggestion is, if anybody is interested, of course you can. I mean, if you think I am boring, and maybe I am, so there are a lot of other good speakers who are talking English weekday, weekend, Hindi weekday, weekend kind of classes. If you are interested, that's a good way to get the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita in 7 days. Okay, so you can join any of the batches if you want. If you want, I can share the link again. But it's a very good course. So yeah, next week we'll not have, but beyond that we'll continue again. But yeah, if anybody is interested, please join the course. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do Narsimha. That's it.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Hare Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimha Harim Sharanam Tapade Narasimha Harim Sharanam Tapade Navaraya Samadhare Adabhuta Sena Kalika Hiranya Kati Nanu Sena Seta Sita Ada Hari Rupa Sarvadari Hare Sarvadari Hare Jayo Jagari जय श्री भक्ति बिंदु विनाश नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय। जय श्री भक्त शिरोमणि श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
All right. Yeah. Thank you, folks, in the online. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It was a great session. Thank you.